you weak. You tried to take a break from me, but you can't get away from me, baby. Girl, taste like candy, taste so good, nicknamed the brandy. Can't nobody understand me. Half the time she cannot stand me. Girl, you so sexy, I'ma let you rock my necklace. I think that you need a vacate, cause you look like you've been stressing. You stressing me every time you get away from me. But faithfully, you promised that you'd always find your way to me. And patiently, I'm holding on to every word you say to me. Don't play with me, I knew that you was never really gonna wait for me.
Mess with my mind, turn on the lights, you know I do. I'm so into you,
Girl, you know that you so sweet, and you taste just like a peach. You can't get away from me, baby. And I know I make you weak. You tried to take a break from me, but you can't get away from me, baby. Come sit it right on my face. I'ma eat all the food off your plate. Fuck a breath, we can't take no breaks. Take a dick, don't tell me wait. You know the record, let's set this straight. Pin you down to the bed, let me seal your fate. Now he blowing up your phone and I know you gotta go, but hit D&D, cause that nigga gotta wait. Cause you stressing me every time you get away from me. But faithfully, you promised that you'd always find your way to me. And patiently, I'm holding on to every word you say to me. Don't play with me, I knew that you was never really gonna wait for me.
mess with my mind,
Was never really gonna wait for me.
turn on the lights, you know I do. I'm so into you,
Was never really gonna wait for me. Hey, know I'm tone bite, know I'm tone bite, know I'm tone bite. We back, Ratchet Gang. We back with another one. We back with another banger. Let's get the likes up. Look, you might have forgot. Hell, they might have forgot. But you already know it's the king. Too loyal, know I'm talking about Ratchet TV. Hey, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. Get the likes up if you in the building. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell so you can get the drop whenever I drop. Alright, so boom. Man. We gotta chop it up. We gotta talk Ratchet Gang. We gotta chop it up. Look, tonight we gotta talk about this David case. You wonder why I'm laughing? I'm gonna tell y'all in just a minute. But we gotta chop it up about this David case. There's a lot of information that's been coming out. I don't know if y'all are up on I don't know if y'all are keeping up with this case or not. So let me turn my mic up just a little bit. So if you are keeping up with the case, let me know in the chat. Turn down just a bit. All right, so if you are keeping up with the case, drop the gems in the chat. If you need the drop right now, go ahead and drop the gems. If you were keeping up with the case, drop the gems. If you are not keeping up with the case, if you just came here for the drop the eyeballs. If you are keeping up with the case, drop the gems. If you need the update right here, right now, drop the eyeballs. I don't know who's keeping up. There's a lot of new information that's been coming out about this case. So we gotta chop it up about that. And we got to get the facts out because, this dude finna be arrested real soon from what I'm being told. Allegedly. And everything I say is alleged, and it's all under the Fair Use Act. And you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video and in the description of all my videos. This is just for entertainment. and educational purposes only. This is just to educate my people on what we've been covering over here. Like I said, it's all under the Fair Use Act, and you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video. And everything I say is alleged. Allegedly, y'all. Let me get some water. Damn. Man. Look, I was laughing because, yo, I almost broke everything in my damn office when I was playing on my Oculus. I was playing this damn boxing game, and literally, man, I ran into my entire my entire computer shit. I broke some of my cords and shit. I had to fix all this stuff. Anyway, man, long story short, yeah, I got my ass whooped that fight. I ain't gonna lie. That dude was fucking me up on that VR shit. And I ended up running into my damn computer shit. I knocked damn near everything off of I knocked everything down. My damn monitor was hanging off the damn edge of the damn desk. I was like, God, I was messing my stuff up. So yeah, I was like, man, let me redo my boundaries in my damn Oculus. So yeah, my goofy ass was, yeah. So anyway, that's why I was looking at my shit. I fixed it all. I fixed everything. So I'm just looking at it laughing like, damn, but you almost you almost messed up everything. You have to pay a lot of money. But anyway, so now let's get serious though. Let's get into this David conversation. I don't know why I'd be telling y'all. I'd just be letting y'all in. Y'all didn't even have to know that, but yeah, I don't care. And I was looking at this water bottle. I knocked everything off my damn desk. It's all good though. All right, so let's get serious. Let's get into this David conversation. Salute to Chatty for the $5. I appreciate you, Chatty. Thank you for the $5. Salute to Leash for the 10-piece. Says happy Friday night. Smash the likes up, please. Salute to Leash for the $10. I appreciate you. Salute Desirata for getting that membership. Salute to all three of y'all. I appreciate you. All right, so I did a poll. In this chat. Everybody vote on that poll, man. Right now, 88% say they got enough proof to go ahead and arrest him. 88% of the room says they got enough proof to go ahead and arrest him. He is going down, says Capri. Thank you for Capri for being a member for 17 months. Y'all dropped the flowers for Capri. All right, so do y'all feel like this dude finna go down? Because allegedly, the family and the friends have been speaking out. Now, I don't know if y'all are up on this. Drop the gems right now if you caught up, because I'm going to start giving y'all some gems on this case. Are y'all caught up on this case? Drop the gems. If you are not, drop the eyeballs. Let me know in the chat right now. So, allegedly, some of these friends are coming out, and these friends are saying, look, we knew this girl. 100% seen her around. I thought she went to USC. This is what the friends are saying. The friends of David. Friends of David are saying, yeah, she was around all the parties. I was under the impression that she was a 19-year-old student from USC. I thought she was in college. I thought she lived with them. I saw her at the house. She was always at all the gatherings. This is what I'm going to show y'all proof. The friends are saying this shit. The family is coming out saying, we knew about it. Yeah, we knew. Nothing we could do about it. We tried to stop this. The little girl kept running away. I got the video footage of her running away. So when you see the family went to go get footage, it's because that footage was at that bus stop and she was supposed to get dropped off right by this liquor store. And the liquor store footage shows she ran off. So I'm going to tell y'all something else. Something that you need to know. I don't know. Some people do good on the internet and just spin this story. Some people just don't need a platform, dog. They be giving y'all a lot of false information. There is no pregnancy. There is no baby. There's none of that. It was not no baby. It wasn't no. But what did happen was, does anybody really know where they met from? I keep trying to see. I see a lot of people getting misinformed about a lot of shit. Do you guys know where David and Celeste met? And I'm talking about the Celeste, the younger Celeste that just went missing in 2024, and her remains were found in that Tesla. I'm talking about. So when I speak about Celeste, I'm not talking about some random 23-year-old that they trying to put into the mix. I ain't talking about some random. How did they meet, y'all? Somebody in this room tell me. I see Roblox. I see Discord. I see, come on, y'all, in the chat. You got to give me. You saying two different things, Jonathan. Come on, you got to give me one answer. Where did they meet, guys? Where did they meet? Uh, who's that? T Baby says Fortnite. Jonathan says Fortnite. Okay, there you go, Jonathan. Randy says Fortnite. Nikki says Fortnite. Okay, they met on Fortnite, guys. So for anybody who says they met on Discord, no, 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 no. The first step was Fortnite. See, they met on the cusp of him kind of blowing up. So he's already kind of doing his thing. He's already this content creator because he started off on YouTube. You got to remember this. He started off as a YouTuber. He was playing Fortnite, but what he would do is he would clip his Fortnite clips. He would take his Fortnite clips that he would clip from his, long videos. He would go live, but his lives wasn't doing good. So what he would do is he would clip his stuff and put people's music in the background. Like I'm just randomly saying Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz. I know he don't fucking listen to that shit, but I'm just saying like putting some mainstream music in the background, but he kept getting copyright strikes from these videos. So what would happen when he kept getting these copyright strikes from these videos? He went to his mom. He was like, "Mom, I keep getting my videos struck. What's going on? I keep getting my videos struck." Salute to Alondra for giving me that $20 on Venmo. Salute, I appreciate that $20 Venmo. And Kimbo, I seen that you had donated the other day. I can't remember what it was, but you sent me a PayPal. Salute to you for that PayPal. But he was like, "Mom, I keep getting copyright strikes." So the mom was like, "Well, make your own music and you won't get copyright strike." So he started just doing music like Frank Ocean and Tyler the Creator, and I can't remember the other name. I can't remember, but he was like on some Tyler the Creator stuff. He started doing his own music. Whoopty whoopty. Well, so around this time is when he met Celeste. I'm giving you the story because she fits into this story. So right when he starts doing his thing, he meets Celeste while he's playing Fortnite. So any gamer in this room, and I'm talking to grown men, mostly grown men. Like, let's just be real. We run into a lot of kids online. Let's just be serious. When we're gaming, I'm talking about like when you're playing Apex, when you're playing Fortnite, when you're playing NBA 2K, Madden. It don't matter what Madden. No, I wouldn't say Madden too much. Madden is kind of more adults, but yeah, 2K is filled with kids. Apex filled with kids. Fortnite filled with kids. So you're gonna always run into kids when you're playing the game. So he ran into a kid, but then he ended up he ended up getting this kid and telling her like about his Discord server. So that's when around the time she was like 10 years old, they were playing on playing on Fortnite. Then they started interacting on the Discord server. So then she turns about 11. That's when the things started getting a little, talking a little more. So he was like doing some, brooming, like you're sweeping, but start with a G. So he's brooming. And around the time he's mind manipulated this little one of the age of 1-1, by the time she hits 1-3, she's ready to run away with this dude. And you think of his first hit song. Does anybody know what his first hit song is called? Can anybody in this room tell me what is David's first hit song called? I'll wait for it. Can anybody in this room give me David's first hit song? And vote on that poll in the chat and double tap that screen to get these likes up, y'all. We should have way more likes. Salute Angie for being a member for 42 months. I appreciate you, Angie, for being a member for 42 months. I've learned a lot, RG4L. Salute, I appreciate you. Drop the flowers for Angie, y'all. Man. There you go, GRWG. The first hit song was called Runaway. Go figure, right? So when you start to listen to his music, you start to get a story, a familiar story in a lot of his music. The familiar story was he wanted this girl to run away and be with him and live with him and to, hold him and to be with him and to fall in love. It was this, but he was obsessed with this girl. Whoever this girl was, he was obsessed with her to the point that he would unalive her. In the music, I'm speaking on in the music, what he would say in the music. I would unalive you if I find out you're talking to another guy. I would do this to you. Let's find out what happened in that car. There's a body in my car. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop type stuff. Lamami, thank you for that. $2 says Runaway. Exactly. It was called Runaway. And also thank you, Lamami, for that other $2 that says this story is just too weird. Thank you for the $2, the $4. I appreciate you. Salute. So, yeah, I'm just giving y'all a little game, man. So the friends are coming out saying that Okay, so when I told y'all they met on Fortnite, ended up getting on Discord around 11 to 13. There's a period of brooming. 13 to 15, there's a period of we're together. I love you. And start looking at the music. The music kind of translates into this girl Celeste that he was chasing. He just couldn't be with her. Something about this girl, he just could not be with her. So as he's not being able to be with her, he's chasing this fantasy of Celeste. Then the Discord server started to leak a little project he was putting together for Celeste. It started getting real weird. The Discord server knew about her. His family knew about her. Her family knew about him. His Fortnite community knew about her. Everybody in his friend circle knew about this little girl. She was missing, but she was with him the entire time. Like, the friends are speaking now. Everyone is coming out saying that, yeah, this little girl was around. So for everybody that's trying to steer this narrative, I'm looking at some of y'all weird. A lot of y'all are trying to make it look like, no. Y'all got it all messed up. It was the 23, or no, it wasn't. And we're going to prove all that shit tonight. Allegedly, we're going to prove it. Allegedly. We're going to say, yeah, we don't know what we're talking about, but allegedly, we're going to show some shit tonight, right? This is going to get real twisted tonight. This story is about to take a weird turn, and I'm telling y'all, he's going to get arrested. He's going to get arrested. And y'all are like, well, he would have been arrested by now. Nah, this ain't Law and Order. This ain't some TV show you're watching. This ain't a movie. What is about to get uncovered is about to be the biggest thing in music history. Being that we're in the day and age of where we are, being that, I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff that you probably, well, this is bigger than that. Nah, this is the day of all the coverage. You can't hide shit. So on the scale of what is about to get uncovered with this situation with Celeste, because it's about to get twisted. I think that the reason, this is my opinion. My opinion is the reason why an arrest hasn't been made is because I think that multiple people go down for this. I think this was a group effort to try to get away with this. Somebody fucked up along the way. See, this is the part that a lot of people don't realize. Somebody fucked up. That's the only reason why we know about this. This was supposed to be something that was swept under the rug. Why do you think everyone's got their hands up like, oh, we don't want nothing to do with this kid now? This was supposed to be something under wraps. Whatever was going on here, nobody was ever supposed to find out about it. Somebody fucked up. Somewhere along the way, somebody fucked up. You got to know they did, because they never recovered all of the parts. To my knowledge, the only thing they recovered was a head and a torso. As far as arms, legs, and anything under, gone. Where the fuck is the rest of her remains? Nobody fucking knows, right? But what's about to get uncovered is about to get real sinister. They only found a little bit of her. They didn't find all of her. They just gave the rest of what they found to the family. Somebody fucked up. This was not supposed to. Whoever did, they were supposed to get rid of this. Something happened, and the plan just got fucked up. That's the part of the story I think they're trying to piece together, is what really happened here. Before we get him for that. And I think it's dangerous what they're doing, but I think that they're trying to uncover the full story and trying to figure out who did. Because even if he didn't do it, he's tied to it. So now they probably would be trying to piece together what happened and who did what. But he's going to go down for something. Is it going to be the unaliving of her? Is it going to be the kidnapping? Is it going to be, harboring? Something is going to happen here. He's not walking away scotch-free. He's not doing it. He's about to go down. And this is about to be big, y'all. I'm telling you, it's about to get real deep. Salute to Jay Stay Fresh for the $2. I appreciate you. Says, sup, Ratchet. You're right on it. Salute to you for the $2. I appreciate you. So, with that being said, we're about to get started on this live tonight, and it's about to get crazy, y'all. Give me a second while I pull this let me get over here and get these articles ready because I got some stuff to show y'all, man. This is about to get real twisted. Who is there? We got all right, let's go. Let's go here. My bad. Man. Okay, so here you go right here. All right. Let's go right here. My bad, gang. Let's play this video.
Tonight, we can finally dispose of all of the speculation around the singer known as David and the underage girl found decomposing in the trunk of his Tesla. Up until tonight, there'd really been no definitive proof that David Anthony Burke was actually in a romantic relationship with Celeste Rivas Hernandez. But now there is. TMZ spoke with multiple friends of David who were, quote,
get the likes up, y'all. Get the likes up.
That he and Celeste were.
Get the likes up. Get the likes up. My bad, y'all. Get the likes up. So we're about to uncover some crazy facts when it comes to this David case. Get the likes up, y'all. Let's go.
Indeed a couple, a romantic couple. David's friends believe that Celeste was 19 years old and a college student. Earlier today, I spoke with TMZ senior producer Charlie Neff, who is behind that breakthrough reporting. So, Charlie, you talked with friends of David. How did they know him and how well did they know him?
Yeah, so the folks that I spoke to are in the LA music scene, so they know David very, very well. They didn't know Celeste as well as they knew David, but they did notice that he was bringing her along when they would go to parties in the music scene.
I'm telling y'all, the friends are starting to speak now. Everyone's confirming that David 100% was with this little girl. 100% it was a relationship. The truth is coming out, y'all.
Maybe they would have hangouts after a recording session, and they knew David to be a very gentle person, is what they told me. They also described him as very soft-spoken. Friends around him are extremely shocked that he's even remotely connected to this grisly murder of a 14-year-old girl. Obviously, he has not been named a person of interest, and from what we've seen, there is no legitimate connection connecting him to the death of this young girl. However, her remains were found in his car, and just that connection alone has really shocked a lot of people around him.
So again, everyone is confirming around him that this girl right here, not no 23-year-old, not anyone else, this same person we're looking at was at parties with him. They said she was getting access to places 21 and up. They said this little girl had multiple fake IDs. The police said this. The police said Celeste Hernandez had multiple fake IDs that said she was an adult. So she did have fake IDs that definitely said she was an adult. How she got these fake IDs, I have no clue. Did her family know about it? How was she 12 years old in 21 and up clubs? How was this possible? What in the fuck was really going on? This girl was 12, 13 in 21 and up clubs. And everyone around thought that this little girl was a 19-year-old student from USC. That's the story they going with. Y'all believe that shit? They saying that the friends of David are all saying they believed Celeste Hernandez to be a 19-year-old college student from USC. Crazy work.
Did they get the impression that this was a romantic couple?
Yes, absolutely. So the people that I spoke to that were seeing them together out in the scene believed they were romantically involved. Now, look, they did not say anything about PDA, said that David was a very shy, quiet person, and Celeste seemed to mirror that as well. So they weren't out there making out at parties and things like that, but they did believe, because they would see them together so frequently, that these two were in a relationship.
Where did they get the idea that she was somehow a 19-year-old going to USC as a college?
I know. Isn't that just so crazy? Because, you know, we think, how does a 14-year-old child present as a 19-year-old woman? And I was told that these people were just so sure that she was a college student. They were specific. They said that she attended USC from what they believed. And also, she was seen at events where there's age restrictions, clubs and parties and stuff like this, where she had to be at least of 18 years old to get in. And we do know from law enforcement sources that she did have several fake IDs as well. So she was able.
So how, what the fuck with where are the parents at? Can anybody tell me, where the hell are the parents at this point? Because it's starting to give, y'all wasn't around at all. How was this girl having fake IDs at spots where 18 and up, 21 and up? How is she in all these adult environments? How are people believing this little girl to be a 19-year-old college student? This is crazy. Let's continue.
Able to get into places where there was age restrictions.
But Charlie, it's so sad to hear that you and I are talking about a 14-year-old girl, but I keep going back to the fact that it's possible he connected with her as early as 12, and on the far end, maybe even 11. Did these friends have a long relationship with David? For instance, did they know Celeste when she was maybe 13 or, God forbid, even 12?
Yeah, so the people that I spoke with just recently got to know him. He has been popular for quite some time. We know that he had been signed to a record label when he was underage. However, he has kind of blown up in the music scene the past couple years. So it would have been the past couple years that they did know her. But yeah, she would have been, about 12 years old during the time that she was coming around. And, we don't know a whole lot about who her friends were, if she did have friends. We just know that she was coming around more in his circle. And we know she wasn't really home very often because she wasn't attending school.
Well, God, if you think about it.
So the little girl wasn't even going to school, y'all. She wasn't even attending school anymore. How they were able to skate, why was no one ever arrested? Why was the police never at this little girl's family's house to find out? Did the school not care either to say, hey, this little girl not in school, man, where is she? In my opinion, they want all of the accomplices. LAPD doesn't have a good track record. They can't afford to mess up. Exactly. That's why they're going to sit back and wait on this one. They're going to be 100% sure and get everybody involved. But this little girl wasn't even going to school, y'all.
Her friends would have been elementary school friends, because it's only a couple years ago that she would have been in elementary school. And if she disappeared at 13, she would have been just into middle school. And just the whole idea that we're talking about it is so uncomfortable. But I am so curious about her story and how she presents. And as you mentioned, these friends of David said she presented very much like a 19-year-old. Did they see her driving? Did they see her driving, say, his car? Because if she's telling everyone she's a USC student, she's got to be going out of the house or leaving his presence on a regular basis.
Yeah, these people did not see her driving or ever see her driving his car or anything of the such of the matter. But, she was always with him. So, everything he did in his life, she kind of seemed to follow.
Do we know, Charlie, if these friends had any inkling that Celeste had actually moved into that mansion, that she was full on a resident of that home in the Hollywood Hills with David?
So the people.
So look at this, y'all. Now they're asking people, was this girl living with him? Thank you, Big Baby. Love you right back. Thank you for the $3. I appreciate you. Salute. So everyone is coming out, and look what they're saying about her living with him, y'all. Listen about her living in that mansion that they just moved out of.
That we spoke with a lot of neighbors in the area, and they don't recall seeing Celeste, or at least don't remember seeing her face. I know there are reports out there saying that she had been living with David and was at least staying there in the past couple weeks, leading up to when she was discovered.
Did these friends of David ever mention that Celeste talked about her family or her home life or let on anything about her personal life?
Yeah, so the people that I spoke with didn't know much about her. It doesn't seem like this really came up, at least in a social gathering or a social scene. No one really questioned much about her background. Like I mentioned, they just knew her as this college student that went to USC. It doesn't look like they really unpacked that. You kind of just take somebody at their word when they say things like that.
Did you get the impression that they thought David might actually be involved in this extraordinarily mysterious and tragic death?
So when I spoke to people around him, they were shocked that he was even remotely in, just the same sentence of this grisly, gruesome murder. Just the fact that it was his car that her remains were found in, they were shocked because, they said he appeared to be a very gentle guy, very shy guy, quiet. I also was told that his family is very conservative. They were very much involved in his life. Remember, he's just a 20-year-old, and his family was very much a part of his career from the beginning. And so for him to even be connected in any kind of way, again, he is not a person of interest, but for it just to be his car, they thought was just extremely disturbing and confusing. And just how could anybody do this, especially somebody that they would see at social scenes and things like that? They just can't believe it. It's extremely shocking for them.
Do you know if these friends that you talked to have also been interviewed by the police?
So I did speak with somebody who said that they have not personally been interviewed by police, but they believe that it's absolutely possible that other people in that group could have been interviewed by police. I'm sure police are trying to make sure that, there's no stone unturned, and they are combing through everything to try to piece together this just horrific case.
If I were a betting man, Charlie, I'd say he would be going to his support system, which, as you just mentioned, he's got a supportive family. I think they're in Houston. Does anybody know if that's a possibility? Any sightings, any hint, anything about Houston?
There hasn't been any sightings, and like you mentioned, he is from Texas originally, and we do know that he has a couple homes out there as well, which it does not appear that there have been any search warrants for either one of those homes. There haven't been any sightings, so it appears he's in hiding. I'd imagine, like I mentioned, he is not a person of interest. Maybe, if he has no connection to this grisly murder whatsoever, he obviously knew who this young girl was. I imagine that would be extremely hard and painful to hear what unfolded to somebody But, and it's unclear if he's spoken to police, but hopefully they get to the bottom of it soon.
Boy, I sure hope police know where he is. If you and I don't, I sure hope they have a handle on where he is, because my feeling is now that he's lawyered up, they still have some questions for him. Charlie Knapp, amazing work. Great journalism and a really good interview. Thanks so much.
So right there, she's like, man, I hope the police know where he at. Shit, because it's about to get spooky for him in just a minute. I hope the police know where he at, because we don't know where the fuck David went. Has anybody seen David? So let's read this. Friends of singer David believe the 15-year-old girl found unalived in his Tesla was his college-aged girlfriend, News Nation has learned. TMZ senior news reporter Charlie Neff told Banfield Thursday that David's friends in the Los Angeles music scene were shocked to hear that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's decomposing body was discovered inside his trunk. They told Neff that David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, is a very gentle person, adding that they thought the fact that it was his car was just extremely disturbing and confusing. So they saying, hey, man, I don't know what's going on with David, but this shit is confusing the hell out of me. So David Track mentions Celeste amid death of teen. Questions about 20-year-old David's connection to Celeste have swirled for weeks after her body was found September 8th. Her cause of death remains a mystery, and it was listed as deferred by the coroner. David and Celeste were romantically involved, friends say. Friends of singer frequently saw David and Celeste together and believed they were romantically involved, according to Neff. However, they did not mention anything about PDA. They described the singer as a very shy, quiet person and said Celeste seemed to mirror that as well. So it's like David kind of, made her to be to what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, I don't know. Everything he did in his life, she kind of seemed to follow, Neff said. David's silence on the teen's death is damning, Bill Cosby ex-spokesperson. David's friends believe Celeste was a college student. According to Neff, David's friends had no idea that the girl that they had seen with him was underage. They believed she was a 19-year-old college student. She attended USC from what they believed. Neff said the friends also mentioned to Neff that they had seen Celeste at age-restricted events, including clubs and parties. Law enforcement sources previously confirmed to TMZ that Celeste had multiple fake IDs, which could have granted her access to such events. Man. It says figure skater distances herself from David, removes song from her routine. The friends of Neff, the friends told Neff that they didn't know much about Celeste and only saw her with David at social gatherings. No one really questioned much about her background. They just knew her as a college student that went to USC, Neff said. Celeste was reported missing multiple times before her death. Allegedly, her family knew her as a runaway. According to a report from the Los Angeles Times, the Riverside County Sheriff's Office says Celeste was reported missing at least 3 times in 2024. And all 3 of those times, she was running off to go be with David, allegedly. She was running off to go be with David all those times, allegedly. David kept forcing this girl to be with him, allegedly. Most recently, the teen was reported missing in April 2024. Before her body was discovered over a year later in the trunk of David's Tesla. Celeste's mother also reportedly said that before her teen went missing, that she was with someone named David. So her mama already been giving the drop on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Her mama already been, yeah. David hasn't been spotted since his tour ended. David has canceled his tour after he was told that the teen's body was found in his car. And he hasn't made a public appearance or issued any statements. On September 17th, police raided David's Hollywood Hills home. The singer terminated his $20,000 a month lease on the property. David rose to prominence online over the past couple of years, in part thanks to a large amount of success to TikTok, where he had over 3 million followers. He released his album Withered in about April last year. So, and it says the police haven't named any suspects in Celeste's case. So police have not said a damn word. And that's the weird part. The police haven't said anything about this. The police are being it's kind of scary how quiet the police are being about this. All right, so let's get to the next article over here on TMZ. Celeste Rivas case. It said, oh my bad, let me get up to the top. Celeste Rivas case, David's abandoned Tesla seen in pics, PI tracks down tow report. So TMZ getting everything on this case. TMZ kind of like, they scaring me the way they involved as well. But anyway, I'm glad they involved. But let's get to it. A private eye is... hold on, my bad. I got a pop-up on my shit. Hold on, close that. All right. A private eye is revealing more details in the case of California missing teen Celeste Rivas, whose dismembered body was found in a car that was owned by singer David earlier this month. And we're getting a good look at the Tesla as police first encountered it. Licensed private investigator Steve Fisher just posted some of his his leg work in this case. He tracked down photos of the car before it was impounded and the CHP incident report responding to the abandoned car. So this is where it says it right here. And it says, I obtained photos of David's 2023 Tesla Model X when it was towed and impounded. I also received a copy of the 26/2025 complaint reporting it abandoned, along with the vehicle impound report. The caller only noted a large dent in the rear, no mention of an odor. The tow report. Hold on, let me go back to this. Let me get on the damn article itself. My bad. So it says a large dent in the rear, no mention of an odor. The tow report suggests that the car had been left in the same spot for an extended period. The initial complaint was called in on August 26th. Then an officer first inspected and cited the car on August 27th. then ticketed it again on September 3rd, and then towed it and impounded it on September 5th. The report also notes that there were no warrants on the vehicle, meaning it was not reported stolen at the time. I've redacted certain details, including the license plate from the photos and the report. So, yeah, this shit crazy, dog. So if we go over here, and this is what I was reading right here. So this is the car right here. So check this out, y'all. So they lying. There was no odor. There was no odor. They never reported an odor. They had cops ticket this car twice. So if a cop ticketed this car twice, what does that tell y'all right there? I'm going to wait for the chat to catch up. If they already ticketed this car twice, what does that tell y'all right there? I'm going to wait for y'all to catch up. Give me a second. Let me get to my chat. I'm going to ask that again. If they already ticketed this car on September 3rd, or excuse me, what date was the tickets on? Let me go back to this real quick. Let me go back. So they ticketed it on, so a cop encountered the car on August 26th. And they called it in on August 26th, and the officer first inspected and cited the car on August 27th. So from August 27th, and then again on September 3rd, and then it was impounded on the 5th. So the 27th all the way to the 5th, there was no odor. They never said nothing about an odor. That's crazy work, right? So that information is false. Here's the report right here. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a big buck. And this is when they first got this car. They first encountered the car right here. They just blocked out the license plate. They don't want anybody, you know what I'm saying, whatever. They said there was no odor. Nah, there was no odor. It's even on the report. They never reported an odor. That was a lie. No one. So all of this information people are being fed is false. And here's the report right here. Here's the report right here. So y'all probably can't see it that good, but the report definitely says it was in Hollywood. They given the street it was on. They gave the VIN number. They put the vehicle year. It was 8/26/2025. And officer ID. The officer's ID is on there, who gave the number. The citation was issued 9/3/2025. Another citation is issued 9/5/2005, and it was impounded. So there's all the reports right there, and there's no mention of an odor. There's no mention of an odor in none of this shit, y'all. So they're lying. And here's the full report right here. Here's the full report right here. And it says nothing about an odor in none of this shit. So y'all can go check this dude out right here and go get the drop. But yeah, y'all can go check out him. SF Investigates, Steve Fisher. Y'all can go check him out if y'all want to go look at that. Y'all can go check it out with him. But I'm gonna continue on with this report I'm reading. All right, so let me get back over here to my receipts. Man. All right, hold on. I lost my damn spot. All right, so shit. All right, my shit not even pulling up no more. All right, there you go. Okay, my bad. I got back to it. All right, it says, you'll recall the car was reported as abandoned on Hollywood Hills Street earlier this month, near the house the singer had been renting. Fisher, who specializes in missing person cases, says he got a copy of the LA Department of Transportation report of the complaint and of the impound report himself. He says that the person who reported the car noted a big dent on the rear end of the vehicle, which you can see in the photos. Take a closer look. Unclear who snapped the pics. The car is covered in dust, suggests it was sitting there for a while. Man. So that's the report TMZ reported. And TMZ is getting a lot of damn information on this case, man. I ain't gonna lie. This case is starting to scare the shit out of me, man. Like, what the fuck what are we fixing to uncover? That's what I want to know. What are we fixing to uncover? David Tesla shocker sees chilling twist. Celeste Rivas met the singer online when she was just 12 years old. Teen Celeste Rivas, missing since May 2024, was found deceased in musician David's Tesla trunk. Sources allege David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, had an underage relationship with Celeste, meeting her online at 11. Her family confirmed the awareness, stating she vanished after going to the movies with David. Man. So the family says she did meet David and she went to the movies with David, and she went missing right after that. The mysterious death of Celeste Rivas, a teen whose highly decomposed body was found in the trunk of an abandoned David's Tesla, took a surprising turns with multiple unexpected twists in the past few days. The teenager was reported missing from Lake Elsinore in May 2024 when she was just 13. Her remains were found a day after what would have been her 15th birthday, though investigators said it appeared she'd been unalive for some time. Man. So she was unalive for some time in this. This is crazy, man. All right, so let me get down here. All right. And it says, was David's family aware of their relationship? Celeste's family claimed that they last saw her on May 4th, 2024. Her brother, Matthew Rivas, said she left home to go see a movie with Burke and never came back. Matthew told social media his family was aware of the alleged relationship. He claimed Burke would regularly pick up his younger sister in that same Tesla where she'd be later found unalive. Celeste ran away on at least 3 different occasions in early 2024 before vanishing for good in May. Hold on, let me go down here so y'all can read along. All right, let's go. Multiple images have since emerged on social media to show Celeste and Burke together during the time she was reported missing. One such image included a video of a girl resembling Celeste who was spotted at one of Burke's concerts in August 2025, but a source told TMZ that the person in the footage was not her. The nature of Burke's relationship with Celeste is currently under radar by investigators. Police and the girl's family confirmed Celeste had tatted on her right index finger, matching the one Burke had. Internet sleuths have also unearthed an alleged unreleased song of Burke's titled Celeste Demo UNNN. Yeah, this dude was on some weird shit. I ain't gonna lie, this dude was on some weird shit. David was a weirdo. 2 masked individuals were captured on video pacing outside the Hollywood Hills rental once occupied by musician David, just days after police searched the property for blood evidence connected to the dismembered teenager discovered in his Tesla. Exclusive footage obtained by the Daily Mail on Wednesday shows the unusual scene as movers loaded furniture and boxes containing the star's belongings into a truck outside the $4.1 million mansion. Celeste Rivas and David's relationship revealed. According to the Daily Mail, disturbed allegations about David's link to the girl has emerged online, including the claim that they met online when she was just 12. It has been reported by multiple outlets that Burke's manager abruptly broke off the lease after LAPD's homicide unit raided the home in connection with the death of the runaway teen Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose dismembered remains were found in Burke's Tesla on September 8th. Man. All right, so let's get down here. The 20-year-old was away performing on the U.S. leg of his Withered World Tour when Celeste's body was found. Burke, meanwhile, has yet to publicly acknowledge the discovery of Celeste's remains in the car. The singer shot to fame on TikTok in 2022 and made his late night television debut on Jimmy Kimmel's show in November 2023 at age 18. Man. So this dude, he's in trouble, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. David is in a lot of trouble right now. So let's get to the video portion of this show. We about to go ahead and let's go ahead and get this show started, man. Let's get this show started. I done gave y'all enough background info. Let's get this show started. Let's go,
A lot
guys.
of people keep asking, a lot of people keep DMing me, why isn't David arrested yet? There's a couple reasons why. For one, this investigation just started. Things like this take time. I know a lot of y'all probably thinking, okay, they might not have a lot of solid evidence for murder of Celeste, but can't they arrest him because he's a PDF file? No. I know it might sound dumb to y'all, but a lot of the evidence y'all are gathering, or grabbing screenshot, pictures of them together, a lot of this shit might not be admissible in court. I'm guaranteeing it, a lot of this shit is not admissible in court. You can't just go, oh, I got this screenshot from Twitter because somebody's in a Discord server and they saw this and say this and this. And, oh, there's a screenshot with the dude's name David and he said this, that you can't do that. That's not how it works. If anything, they're slowly building a case upon him. Since the police raided his house, cut the lease with his house. He moved out. His manager, they split. With that means the police cannot go back to that house. If they miss something, it might be gone. Now that he no longer lives there, it's gonna be hard, damn near impossible to get a warrant to go back and search the premises again. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, I believe his father is an attorney. Well, this whole shit not even finna be easy. You get what I'm saying? I don't know, people keep commenting, adding me and DMing me, why is he arrested? That's literally why. Things like this take time, and even though y'all might have a lot of evidence, somewhat proof, the police just can't use it. You know what I'm saying? They need hard-hitting, hardcore evidence that ties them directly to it. You should be hearing another big update soon, but I will let you know as soon as it comes in.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure why David hasn't been arrested yet. I would only suspect that it's coming soon, and they're building a bigger case on him.
This morning, detectives proceeding cautiously as they investigate the death of a missing California teenager whose body was found in a car belonging to popular singer-songwriter David. How 15-year-old Celeste Rivas died and whether a crime was committed remain crucial questions that sources tell ABC News could take weeks, even months, to answer.
It's an ongoing investigation. We have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion.
Rivas had been missing for a year and a half. The LA County medical examiner unable to determine a cause of death so far, now waiting on lab tests to come back. Her badly decomposed remains wrapped in plastic discovered inside the trunk of this black Tesla that had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. The registered owner, David Anthony Burke, who goes by the stage name David.
Yeah, this dude weird as hell, man. Get the likes up, y'all. Double tap that screen, get these likes up.
The medical examiner revealing Rivas had a tattoo reading "shh" on her index finger. David has the same one. It's a popular design among performers. Investigators were seen searching the residence he was renting last week and allegedly removing a computer. The 20-year-old musician has not been named as a suspect.
In order for there to be a prosecution, law enforcement has to find some key pieces of information when it comes to a potential homicide. First, they actually need to figure out if it's a homicide or not, and the autopsy report will help give them that. Then they have to figure out the who and the how in order to bring charges.
And while a source close to the investigation says all promotion for David's new album has been put on pause, Billboard reporting streaming of his music has doubled since news of his possible connection to Rivas's death emerged. Some fans now pointing out disturbing images seen in his music videos like One More Dance, which shows a bloody David and a body being placed in a trunk.
After watching you go.
Recently, mourners gathered at a vigil for the California teen, authorities returning her body to her family this week.
Now, sources telling us they have the evidence that they need from her body. And while they wait on those lab results, again, the promotion for David's new album has stopped and the U.S. portion of his tour has been canceled.
What do y'all think about that? What y'all think about that, man? It's like it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. So hold on, let me get over here to this. Hold on. Let me find this video real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this video up. Man. All right, hold on. Let me pull this video up. All right, where is it at? I want to show y'all something from my brother. Here you go, right here. All right, here you go, boom. All right, here you go. Let's look at this real quick.
This is actually her right there. That's my dad. Well, we got the same dad, but that's her right there. We don't like her mom. Her mom used to abuse her. Like she always wanted to come, with our dad. She always wanted to live with our dad. And I don't even know where to start from. It's crazy. I was expecting my sister to be dead, but stuff still was seeming all right. I'm like, tell me where you at? Where is you at? Where is you at? She's not telling me. She's like, last time I talked to her. Last time I talked to her, she was like, she wanted to come home. She said she wanted to come home. So I'm guessing he was holding her hostage. It's crazy. I want justice for my sister. I love y'all so much.
Man. What the hell, y'all? What is going on? I'm confused. I don't know, man. This case is starting to be, it's getting real creepy, man. It's getting real damn creepy. All right, let's continue, man. Let's continue.
If you're following the case of David, you need to hear this brand new information because it makes a lot of things more clear. So someone close to David posted this. It's a little long, but trust me, it's worth listening to. They said, so I have a friend who was friends with David and I was around David because of him. Heads up, it's a long read. My friend and I found out about the car September 8th and my friend contacted David after and he just responded with, I can't say anything about that because I don't know what's going on. My car was stolen and I'm talking to the police. That was the last thing David said. As things started to come out online and the ID of the victim, we realized that the body that was found was his GF Celeste, the 19-year-old we met a few times after his shows, kickbacks, parties. One thing I can talk about that I'm 100% sure is that there was two Celestes because I've met them both and I've spoken to them both. One thing about that, looking back, that I find weird is that when they were both in the same room, the older one called herself Cece. If one was there and the other one wasn't, she would call herself Celeste. I wasn't too close to David, but my friend was. He was always invited to the events or kickbacks at his place or his shows at hotels, and he would bring me with him. He was always surrounded by streamers and TikTokers, Mark's Fat At, and this guy Ben. Now when we would stream with other people at his place, he would pull Celeste, the minor, to the side and tell her he was going to stream and she can watch him in the room, so the girl would go hide out. I specifically remember this because this happened during a tattoo party he threw and there was a female artist and she actually refused to tattoo minor Celeste because she needed an actual copy for her consent form. And the minor Celeste was asking for a butterfly behind her neck like Cece, and I remember the artist kept saying no, and David started to get annoyed and told the artist that she lost out on the clientele he was going to bring her, and she said that was fine. She just has a policy like his NDA that she likes to.
Man. So David was trying to get this little girl tatted up. Some people went along with it. A lot of people didn't because they needed a physical ID. But she had a couple fake ones. I don't know. This shit is getting weird.
Was well before Celeste Hernandez had been identified. Someone on Reddit by the name of American Strawberry said, this guy is a weirdo, referring to David Burke. Now they go on to state that a close friend, I'm assuming of theirs, little sister from LI or Lake Eisenhower, I think that's how you pronounce that, ran away last year, and this is who she was with, referring to David Burke. Now they go on to say that allegedly, I'm saying allegedly, but they think that her sister was the one pimping her out, allegedly. That's crazy. They go on to say that she was in the 7th grade at the time, and LAPD sweeped his place in the hills. They go on to say that I'm terrified that that's who's in his car. Nobody has heard from her in months, and I won't release the name as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Eisenhower, however you pronounce that. And then you can just pause to read the rest. It's just people, his fans defending him. Turns out this person was right that it was her in the trunk. Now, as for the other allegations, I don't know anything about those. But the facts do remain true that he does have matching tattoos with her. She is identified as a 15-year-old child. That is a child. And according to that phone conversation, that she was with him at his home having a FaceTime call with one of their friends at around 4 a.m. And the question is, what was a 15-year-old doing with a 20-year-old grown man? If anything else in regards to this case comes out, I'm going to keep you guys posted. But I'm on the streets, okay? I got my ear to the streets. I'm listening.
Yeah, this is. I don't know, man. David, how he's dodged the police this much. I just think that they can't physically prove who did it. That's the thing.
They may not.
I think that they honestly cannot figure out who did this. Who the fuck did this? They want to figure that out.
Have much to go on, and maybe they do, and they're just not telling us. But police investigating the young habitual runaway who was found dead in the trunk of a car owned by an up-and-coming R&B singer have one big thing to be thankful for. And that is that the car was a Tesla. 2023 Model Y, to be exact. That stands out to me because I have one. And like all Teslas, the Model Y is battery powered, but it runs on information like no other car on the road. It has cameras and sensors and satellite connections that take in information constantly and send out information just as often. So what information might David's Tesla be able to share about the final moments of Celeste Rivas Hernandez? My next guest knows a lot about that. Jason Lewis is one of the nation's top digital forensic experts. In his former life as a police officer, he worked with the Secret Service on its, quote, electronic crimes task force. And now he trains police at the National Computer Forensic Institute, part of Homeland Security. Full disclosure, he recently worked on a multi-million-dollar case against Tesla while driving a Tesla himself. Welcome to the program. My goodness, it's good to have you, Jason. Let's dive right in. I know that my car has 8 cameras on the outside.
So if they come out and say they don't got no camera footage, you know this is some higher up ish. If they come out and start being like, oh, we can't find the footage, yeah, all right, we gonna see.
And one camera pointing right at me as the driver on the inside. But what I don't know is if it is recording me at all times, and I wasn't even aware of it.
Well, it depends on if you're actually using autopilot or not. Because if you're using the autopilot feature, then yes, the inside camera is recording at all times. But if you're not using the autopilot feature or any of the self-driving features, then it's not actually recording you. Generally speaking, you can opt in to share some of the data from that internal camera with Tesla, but it would only do that according to the manual. It's only supposed to do that during crashes or critical events.
So if you're, a bit of an idiot like me, I get in the car and I figure out how to drive it and I drive, and I don't look any deeper into all the little special things 20 layers down. Effectively, what do you expect this particular data in this Tesla might tell us about who was on the outside of the car, getting into the driver's seat, driving it to the abandoned location, and maybe opening that trunk and closing it for the last time? What will we know about that?
Well, it's all going to depend on if Sentry mode was turned on. Because if Sentry mode was actually activated on the vehicle, then it's doing a lot of recording of video footage from its 8 external cameras. And so if that was the case, then you'd actually have clips of the people opening the door, a clip of someone opening the trunk, and that could possibly be recovered by the police. Now, if Sentry mode's not turned on, then it's not going to be doing any of those recordings. And what you'll get is recordings when the vehicle's in motion versus when it's stationary.
So this vehicle was in motion, presumably with Celeste's body in it, because it was abandoned. Do you think there'll be data that's retrievable about where it drove from before it ended up in its final resting spot in the abandoned street side prior to being towed? And will it register when that trunk closed for the last time?
Yes, it should. It's all a matter of whether or not that data is still on the car or if it's on the Tesla servers. So your vehicle actually communicates with the Tesla servers almost constantly, and it's usually doing that over a cellular connection, but it can also do it over Wi-Fi. So it's sending a treasure trove of information back to the Tesla servers.
Man. So I want to know who called this car in, because there was no mention of an odor in this car. There was no mention.
Tonight, we can finally dispose of all of the speculation around the singer known as David and the underage girl found decomposing in the trunk of his Tesla. Up until tonight, there'd really been no definitive proof that David Anthony Burke was actually in a romantic relationship with Celeste Rivas Hernandez. But now there is. TMZ spoke with multiple friends of David who were, quote, under the impression that he and Celeste were indeed a couple, a romantic couple. David's friends believe that Celeste was 19 years old and a college student. Earlier today, I spoke with TMZ senior producer Charlie Neff, who is behind that breakthrough reporting.
So I played that for y'all already with Charlie Neff. But again, the friends assumed that this little girl, somehow, some way, they assumed this little girl was they assumed that she was 19 years old and she went to USC. That's crazy.
I have some new information coming out about Celeste Hernandez and David. Now, some of David's friends are coming out and saying that Celeste was David's girlfriend. According to TMZ, David's friends say that they thought that Celeste was his girlfriend and they were shocked to find out that she was only 14 years old. Friends who partied and knew David were under the impression that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was his girlfriend, and they were shocked to figure out when the news came out that Celeste was only 14 years old. Some of these friends of David's are one who party in LA and are in the music scene, and they tell TMZ that they saw David and Celeste at parties and hangouts, and it appeared to them that they were a couple. David's friends also told TMZ that they were under the impression that Celeste was a student at USC, and a friend believed Celeste was around 19 years old and presented herself as much older. You also have to remember that TMZ talked to law enforcement sources that did tell them that Celeste had multiple fake IDs, which allowed her to pass herself off as an adult. And David's friends that are now talking to TMZ say one of the reasons that they thought she was over 18 is because she would hang out at these places that had age restrictions. David's friends are also saying that they are shocked to know that there is a connection between David and Celeste's death. We know this is something that has not been absolutely proven by law enforcement because they aren't speaking, but maybe the fact that she was found in his Tesla trunk. His friends said that he has a gentle demeanor. He's super shy, soft-spoken, and gentle. But either way, this is big news to know that David's friends are now coming out and they are speaking and they are confirming that Celeste had a relationship with David. Timing of this is very important. This is a critical piece of information that law enforcement will follow up on if they haven't talked to these friends already. And it's crazy, now we are actually hearing from David's friends, because also yesterday, a neighbor that lived close to David came out and told news sources that he saw Celeste and David together a lot and that he thought that Celeste lived with David, and he also claimed that he thought that they were a young couple. And you paired that with all the pictures, the videos, the statements from her mother claiming that she had a boyfriend named David, and also her brother coming out and saying that Celeste last left with the singer David. It is not looking good for him. This is one way that I believe the cops will be trying to lay down this timeline. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Hey, who is this Marquisha person that everybody keep arguing with? Who is the Marquisha person? They saying Marquisha ain't a... Hey, Marquisha, how old are you? Marquisha, how old are you? We asking as a family. We need to know, because we finna have to close the doors. We finna close the motherfucking doors. So hold on. How old are you, Marquisha? We need to know as a community. Let's continue.
David and Celeste update. Let's talk about the facts that we have up to now, September 25th. We're going to talk about what the coroner had to say about Celeste's body. We're going to talk about what David's immediate neighbor has told the news. And we're going to talk about how David and his manager have moved out of the mansion since it was raided. So as we know, a vigil was held for Celeste this past Sunday, and her body has since been returned to her family. Her funeral is set for October 4th. And at this time, her cause of death is undetermined. Now let's talk about what David's neighbor told the news. David's immediate neighbor said that he believed that Celeste lived at this mansion in the Hollywood Hills because he would see Celeste and David together all the time. He said that he would see Celeste and David going in and out of the house, getting into the car, and that they would all say hi to each other. This neighbor said that they believed that Celeste and David were actually an 18/19-year-old couple. The neighbor described David as polite, but that David stayed away from small talk. They specifically said anytime I tried to talk to them, they weren't very engaging. They, meaning Celeste and David. The neighbor even said that they asked David what had happened to his Tesla because you could tell that it was hit and he never fixed it, but that David didn't really say what happened to it. This neighbor also says that the last time that he saw David and Celeste together was months ago. Now, for a little bit more of a backstory, David has been living at this mansion in the Hollywood Hills since February 2024. It was being rented by his manager, John Marshall, and it was raided on September 18th. Now, it is a fact that Celeste went missing in February of 2024 around Valentine's Day, and when she was found in the Hollywood Hills. David and his manager have broken their lease, and they are no longer living at this mansion. Now, just to give you a quick recap if you haven't been keeping up, the last time that Celeste was reported missing was in April of 2024. David started his Withered World Tour on August 5th, 2025. On September 6th, David's Tesla was towed after it was abandoned on a street in Hollywood Hills. Celeste's birthday was September 7th, at which she would have turned 15 years old. On September 8th, the LA Police Department discovered a dismembered body wrapped in plastic in the trunk of David's Tesla. The body was identified as Celeste Rivas on September 17th. The house that David had been living in the Hollywood Hills was raided overnight on September 18th. At that point, investigators took a computer and other evidence. He continued his tour. He did one last show in Seattle, and then on September 19th, he cancels the rest of his tour. Then finally, on September 23rd, David and his manager broke their lease and left the house. And now we have David's neighbors saying that they actually thought that David and Celeste, a 14-year-old girl, were a couple from how often they saw them going in and out of the house, from how regularly these two were together. Please drop your thoughts and your comments down below. And of course, don't forget to hit the follow button, because I am going to be keeping up with this case and I will be keeping you updated with the facts.
So we just hit 195,000 subscribers, y'all. Salute to everybody, man, for subscribing to the channel. We at 195K. Salute to the gang, man. All right, let's continue, man. Let's continue.
Cautiously as they investigate the death of a missing California teenager whose body was found in a car belonging to popular singer-songwriter David. How 15-year-old Celeste Rivas died and whether a crime was committed remain crucial questions that sources tell ABC News could take weeks, even months, to answer.
It's an ongoing investigation, and we have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion.
Rivas had been missing for a year and a half. The LA County medical examiner unable to determine a cause of death so far, now waiting on lab tests to come back. Her badly decomposed remains wrapped in plastic discovered inside the trunk of this black Tesla that had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. The registered owner, David Anthony Burke, who goes by the stage name David. The medical examiner revealing Rivas had a tattoo reading "shh" on her index finger. David has the same one. It's a popular design among performers. Investigators were seen searching the residence he was renting last week and allegedly removing a computer. The 20-year-old musician has not been named as a suspect.
In order for there to be a prosecution, law enforcement has to find some key pieces of information when it comes to a potential homicide. First, they actually need to figure out if it's a homicide or not, and the autopsy report will help give them that. Then they have to figure out the who and the how in order to bring charges.
And while a source close to the investigation says all promotion for David's new album has been put on pause, Billboard reporting streaming of his music has doubled since news of his possible connection to Rivas' death emerged. Some fans now pointing out disturbing images seen in his music videos like One More Dance, which shows a bloody David and a body being placed in a trunk. Recently, mourners gathered at a vigil for the California teen, authorities returning her body to her family this week. Now, sources telling us they have the evidence that they need from her body, and while they wait on those lab results, again, the promotion for David's new album has stopped, and the U.S. portion of his tour has been canceled.
So I got a question. How are you able to determine anything if you don't have a full body? Like, how were the coroners able to do anything if you don't even have a full body? I'm confused on that. So if you don't have a full body, how the hell are you able to do an autopsy on half of a body? I don't know. I wouldn't think you could. Can you? I wonder. Let's find out. Let's find out, can we? Can you do let's see. Let me just do it like this. Can you do an autopsy on a body if the body was dismembered and it's not a full body and all they have is a head and a torso? Would they still be able to do an autopsy?
Yeah, actually they can. So even if a body is... My guidelines won't let me talk about that. Can I help you with something else?
Whoa, it said what the crazy word. It said I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that. Let's see. Well, I'm asking about the David and Celeste Hernandez case. So I'm trying to figure out if Celeste Hernandez's body was dismembered, how were they able to still do an autopsy on her body?
Ah, got it. So in a case like that, my guidelines won't let me talk about that. Can I help you with something else?
They wanted me to do it. That's weird. That's weird. That's crazy as hell. Why can't you speak about what they can and cannot do? Okay, well, that's weird. They ain't gonna let me talk about it. All right, cool.
If you're following the case of David, you need to hear this brand new information because it makes a lot of things more clear. So someone close to David posted this. It's a little long, but trust me, it's...
Oh, no. I already went over there. My bad. I went over there. My fault. All right, let's go. I got a couple videos twice on accident.
I'm not somebody that really talks about stuff that's trending, but I wanted to talk about the Celeste Rivas case. I've been doing so much research on this, and I just do this like any other case. This one, I found something that I haven't seen anybody talk about, and I wanted to share. So at first I went on her mom's Facebook and I was like scrolling and literally did not see anything about the situation at all. So from what we've gathered, she went missing the first time, she was brought back home, and then she went missing again and never came back. So I scrolled down and I find one post regarding this entire situation, and this is from last year, like when she first went missing the first time. And it really bothered me because I was like, what? The mom put out a Facebook post for the first time that she went missing and then said that she came home and whatever. Second time, nothing was ever posted. She wasn't even reported missing, I don't think. And basically was just gone untalked about. So I scrolled down to the post that she put out when she first went missing. It's this post right here. Now, if you go in the comments, like I translated all the comments and everything, there is this comment. It says, because you don't pay attention to the messages you get. I clicked on it and it is in Spanish, but I just used ChatGPT to like translate it because I didn't want to type everything into Google. Now, these are the texts translated. It says, good evening, Mrs. Mercedes. Let me tell you, a few hours ago at some airport, a plane arrived from another airport with a group of young people. The young girls are being brought from human trafficking. Within the group is a young woman named Celeste Rivas. She says she's your daughter. That is what that text translates to. This comment was posted a year ago. I know that there's so many people speculating that her family was basically paying weekly to sell her, but I wanted to show that because I saw that and was like, oh my gosh, that is insane. This is all just so messed up. She deserves justice.
Man, that's crazy work, right? That is crazy work. They said Google says yes. Okay, cool. I said, also, did anyone see the TMZ video of Celeste? Yeah, I got it. We gonna play it. I got all that. Don't worry about it. We gonna play all that. I got everything. Let's go.
So y'all telling me?
I don't need that one right now. Where is it at?
A private investigator is revealing more details about the case of Celeste Rivas, whose dismembered body was found in the front trunk of David's Tesla. Steve Fisher is the name of the PI who was sharing some of his findings so far. Steve shared this lengthy message on Twitter along with photos of the car, the complaint report, and the vehicle impound report. This is the vehicle report that he shared. The report notes that there was a large dent in the back of the car, no mention of odor. And this is the vehicle complaint that he shared. arrested. Steve says that the initial complaint was called in on August 26th, and an officer first inspected and cited the car on August 27th. It was ticketed once again on September 3rd and then towed and impounded on September 5th. The car was not reported stolen at that time. Steve also says that the date of the odor complaints was September 8th. Someone pointed out that bodies usually start to give off an odor within 3 days, and that it's weird that the officer and the tow truck driver didn't smell anything. And Steve explains that the front trunk of a Tesla is weather sealed since it sits in front of the air filtration system in the car. So he says that it was probably a slower decomposition process than expected because of the lack of oxygen and insects. As shown in this photo, there was a dent in the back of the car, which matches up with what one of David's alleged neighbors told the U.S. Sun. That neighbor said that they asked David about his Tesla as it was hit and he never fixed it. And he said David never really said what happened. So it sounds like this dent was there way before this entire situation. The same neighbor also told the U.S. Sun that he believes Celeste and David were a couple. He said that they were polite but kept to themselves and didn't really engage in conversation. Let me know your thoughts down below and follow me for more.
Crazy work, man. Yeah, David getting caught all around the damn board.
A private investigator.
All right, my bad.
Multiple times in early 2024.
And here goes the video right here. Here goes the video right here. TMZ releases store security footage of Celeste Rivas.
But we now have footage that shows her fleeing Lake Elsinore in March of 2024.
So this is in March of 2024 when she fled the first time.
So this surveillance video was taken from a liquor store. What happened was Celeste's sister came to the liquor store. It's near the bus stop where
you see her running away right there. She's physically running away at this point.
Celeste would catch the bus to go to school, and the sister was trying to find her. Celeste had already run away a few months earlier, and ultimately police found her in Hollywood, brought her back home.
And that's when they found her, brought her back home, and then she ran away again. Brought her back home, and she ran away again. And this is when that teacher was telling everybody she had met that rapper in L.A., and she ran away to be with him. They brought her back. She ran away to be with him again. They brought her back. And then she ran away to never be seen again.
So this time, obviously, the family feared she was running away again. So the sister went to the liquor store owner, knowing that the bus stopped outside that store every day. And they wanted to track her to see, did she jump on the bus? What did she do?
So this is that footage right here. What do you guys think right now, man? What are your thoughts on this? This is the footage of her running away. TMZ gets everything. And that's Celeste Rivas right there. She got dropped off by the bus, and that's when she ran away from home. Yeah, this is from 2024 when she went missing the first time. Because her school bus dropped her off right in front of this liquor store. Yeah, she ran away to be with David. She ran away to be with David. That's the point everyone needs to know. So the moral of this is she did meet David online. She met him on Fortnite. Kept in contact with him on Discord. Numbers were exchanged.
Not in that car because it does pull out in the footage. Jumping to the he was the liquor store owner. Is he was maybe jumping to the conclusion that she got in that car because it does pull out in the footage. But
I can't tell from the footage what kind of car it is.
Not at all.
So allegedly there was a car that picked her up at the end of the footage. And it appeared to be that Tesla that she was found unalive in. This is what the reports are saying. It was a car pulls up to pick her up when she ran away. And allegedly it was that Tesla.
A teen girl's body is found in the trunk of a car tied.
Allegedly it was that Tesla. Hold on, let me get back down here today. All right, let's get back down here.
I know it's late, but updates on the David situation. You guys was right. The family did know. Crazy twist. So Celeste's brother claims that David first made contact with his sister when she was only 11 through Twitch. The family then proceeds to admit that they have seen David pick her up in that Tesla on numerous occasions. It was also stated that
Salute CC for that 20 piece. I appreciate you. Salute. I seen Binky throw up something. Somebody else. I missed a couple of super chats, but salute to y'all. Thank you, CC.
her friends lost contact with her late July this year. That's when she went completely dark, and then she ended up deceased. Then police are claiming that the reason she was able to go around and do things with David is because she had multiple fake IDs, which helped her get into places with him that she usually wouldn't be able to because she looks so young and her age, her real age. It stated that the sister got a tip that she was at the liquor store with bruh, and when she went there, she tried to get surveillance footage from the liquor store to see where her sister had gone. And as for the police, they still have not said anything else. As if just confirming that yes, Celeste was with David the whole time she was missing. That's the only thing that's been confirmed. But yeah, what do you guys think about this whole situation? The family, I'm not even gonna say what I think. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I don't know about the family. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of them. How do you know? How do you know this? How do you know this information and you just let it happen? Like you failed her.
Breaking news, Celeste was seen on surveillance footage and was not seen at David's concert. A source close to the investigation has confirmed that the individual seen in the videos at David's concert that many believe is Celeste is in fact not. In addition to that, Celeste was also seen on surveillance footage at a liquor convenience store. This store is located within her hometown. The owner of the store says that he knows a lot of the neighborhood children because the school bus stopped right in front of his store every day and they get off and get chips and soda. One of those individuals that he knew was a regular was Celeste. He said she would also come in and get chips and soda. When Celeste went missing one of the times last year, her sister went to this convenience store to ask the owner to review footage. After reviewing footage, he saw Celeste on it. Celeste was seen on March 19th, 2024, exiting the store. She then goes across the street, walks farther down the street, and gets into an unknown vehicle. The owner of the store said that because he could not zoom in, he could not tell the make or model of the vehicle or who else was in the vehicle. But he did confirm that Celeste got into it. Again, to reiterate, a source close to the investigation confirmed that the video at David's concert is not Celeste. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
So allegedly now they're saying that the girl that was on that footage was not Celeste, y'all. I still say I don't know.
So Carla, you talked with friends of David. How did they know him?
I already played that. All right, let's get back to this one.
Hi everyone, I'm a licensed criminologist, and there's something shocking I noticed in the David case that no one else has. So obviously I'm not claiming that anyone is or isn't guilty, but there are many small, crucial details in this case that the trained criminologist's eye notices that everyone has overlooked. So if we look at where the body was found, namely David's car, this is highly suspicious, as in many cases where a body is found in someone's car, the owner of the car is connected to the case in some way. I've also seen many posts of them together, and any criminologist would tell you that this is a strong indicator that they knew each other or had at least crossed paths at one point. However, as a criminologist, I also specialize in criminal profiling and getting into the minds of criminals. And looking at David and songs like Romantic Homicide and his general aesthetic built around unaliving, I don't find any signs that he has a natural predisposition to violence. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I do recommend that David get a lawyer because there is a high likelihood that he will be involved in this case in some capacity, but of course that remains to be seen. So I hope that gives you guys some more insight into this case, and let me know if there's any other cases, either past, present, or future, that you would like me to analyze.
I definitely think David's going down for this shit. I don't see no other way. I don't see no other way around it. There ain't no other way for David. He's got to go down for this, right, y'all? You would think so. I mean, he had an inappropriate relationship with a minor, right?
The David case is about to be wrapped up very soon. So let me bring you guys up to speed, those who don't know what's happening with the David situation. David was currently dating someone named Celeste Rivera-Hernandez. But the thing is, at the time, she was 14 and David is 20 currently. And Celeste Rivera-Hernandez's body was found dismembered in the trunk of David's Tesla. So now that you guys are up to speed on what's going on, let me get into what's new. So it turns out the FBI are actually working on getting the footage that was inside the Tesla. What I mean by that is there's a certain type of mode, I think it's called Sentry mode. And if it is turned on, you'll be able to see every single camera and a live recording, actually not a live recording, previous recordings of the last time the car was used. Also, you're able to see like last time the trunk was closed. So the FBI are working on that. But the weird thing is David is very cooperative with the FBI and the law. He is still saying that he's not guilty. To make things worse, David isn't even arrested or put in jail right now. He is actually free, which is weird because he is a pedo. He was literally dating someone that was underage before her death, unfortunately. So he should be just locked up for that, honestly. And obviously he's put under investigation because Celeste was found unalived in his car. But whenever I find out more information, I'll update you guys. Let's talk about it down in the comments.
Yeah, I don't know how he escaped in jail for so long, man. I don't know. I just got to think that they're building a bigger case and they don't got the information that they
Breaking
need.
news, they've
I still think they're looking for information. I just still think they are.
now confirmed that Celeste had multiple fake identification cards. In addition to that, David's friends who are familiar with the two said that they believed they were a couple and that she was 19, and that she presented herself as such. Law enforcement sources confirmed that she had multiple fake identification cards that allowed her to pass herself as an adult. In addition, David's friends said that they believed she was also 19 years old because she was hanging out in places that required you to be at least 18. Friends of David also said that they were shocked to find out that there was any connection between him and her passing. They said his demeanor is, quote, super shy, soft-spoken, and gentle. In addition, law enforcement sources close to the investigation have confirmed that Celeste was not the one seen in David's video at the concert. However, there are pictures of David and Celeste together, and there also were live streams. There were also times where Celeste would come in and comment in the live streams. Since then, all of those have been deleted. Celeste was also caught on surveillance footage at a local convenience store in her hometown. This was on March 19th of 2024. This was also during a time that she was missing. The reason the footage was obtained is because her sister went to the store and asked them if they had seen her. They rewound the footage and saw her. The convenience store owner knows Celeste as well as a lot of the neighborhood children because the bus stop is right in front of the store. He said Celeste, along with others, come in and typically buy chips and soda. When they reviewed the footage, they saw that she left, walked across the street, then down the street, and got into a black vehicle. However, they could not determine the make and model of the vehicle or who was in it. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
David, man.
The LAPD is finally confirming that they are looking into the relationship between Celeste Hernandez and David. You know that the LAPD has been tight-lipped and they pretty much haven't said anything on this ongoing investigation into what happened to Celeste Hernandez. But now the chief of the LAPD is sitting down and he is talking a little bit about this investigation. And I do feel like this is a big deal since we have people close to David saying that him and Celeste were in a relationship, and even a neighbor that came out yesterday saying the same thing. Yesterday, LAPD Chief Jim McDonald sat down and did an on-set interview with ABC7, and he said he couldn't share much about the ongoing investigation into what happened to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He said, "We have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion, but to go beyond what's already been made public would be inappropriate." As for speculation that David might have had a relationship with the teenager, the police chief said, whenever you investigate an unaliving, the detectives look at all of the associated issues as well. In this case, that's something that they would be looking at. And I was surprised that he used the word unaliving. This is the first time that we are hearing a LAPD say that Celeste Hernandez's case is an unaliving case. And I do find the timing of this pretty crazy because we do know that her body was released to her family yesterday. So that means the initial autopsy is complete. And what I can guess from that, now the coroner is probably just waiting on the toxicology reports to finish his findings, and we know that that can take a couple weeks.
It's an ongoing investigation. We have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion.
LAPD Chief Jim McDonald speaking with Eyewitness News today about the relationship between 20-year-old David and Rivas, who just turned 15 earlier this month.
There are discussions that they might have had a relationship. Would you investigate that relationship as a possibility? Because it could be illegal to have a relationship with somebody that age.
Yeah, certainly whenever you investigate a homicide, the detectives look at all of the associated issues as well. In this case, that's something that they would be looking
To
at.
hear the LAPD finally say something is honestly a big deal. And to hear that they are looking into the relationship with minor Celeste, with David because she is underage connected to this investigation of her unaliving is some big answers that we have been given. And even them using the word unaliving, because we have literally heard nothing from the LAPD up until now. But like he said, it's not much. They are not literally holding a press conference for us. And this is because everything is still under investigation. And I do find it odd that the same time he got on here and spoke out is the same time that we are hearing from David's neighbor. And now today we are hearing from his friends who say that they didn't know Celeste was underage, but they know that they were in a relationship with one another. And I'll be watching everything to see what happens. I do have a feeling we might start hearing a little bit more from the LAPD now that we are seeing the LAPD chief speak on this incident. But I feel like they're keeping everything hush-hush because they want to make sure that they investigate this thoroughly, since the coroner has not gave results on Celeste's autopsy. But I am curious now if they do know a little bit of information now that they are finally speaking out and they are using the terminology of unaliving, because before now we have heard absolutely nothing. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Yeah, this is getting spooky, y'all. Why has no fucking arrest been made, dude? I mean, we clearly see he was doing some inappropriate things with this little girl, so I don't know, man. I guess it's to be determined, but I do feel like a press conference will be held early to mid next week about this.
Somebody that is close to David just posted this absolute bombshell of a post about what actually went down between the two alleged Celeste. And I know that this is a blurry screenshot. It is the only one, but listen, because this is insane. And everything that I'm about to read as of now is alleged. So I have a friend who was friends with David, and I was around David because of him. Heads up, this is a long read. My friends and I found out about the car on September 8th, and my friend contacted David after he just responded with, "I can't say anything about that because I don't know what's going on. My car was stolen and I'm talking to the police." That was the last thing that David said. As things started to come out online and the ID of the victim was released and that the body found was his GF Celeste, the 19-year-old he met a few times after shows, as well as kickbacks, parties. One thing I can talk about that I am 100% is that the two Celeste, because I've met them both and spoken to them both. One thing about that looking back is I find it weird that when they were both in the same room, the older one calls herself Cece. If one was there and the other woman wasn't, then she would call herself Celeste. Now, I wasn't too close to David, but my friend was. He was always invited to events or kickbacks at his place or his shows at hotels, and he would bring me with him. He was always surrounded by people, other streamers and TikTokers, Marks, Fat and this guy Ben. When he would stream with other people at his place, he would pull Celeste, the MINER, to the side and tell her he was going to stream and she can watch him in the room so the girl would go hide out. I specifically remember this because this happened during the tattoo party that David threw, and there was a female artist who came from San Bernardino. I believe she actually refused to tattoo an MINER Celeste because she needed an actual copy of her consent forms. The MINER Celeste was asking for a butterfly behind her neck like Cece, and I remember that the artist kept saying no. David started to get in.
So he had this girl trying to be like the older Celeste. Weird. And they were jealous of each other, and this is just getting weirder and weirder. So she was trying to get a butterfly tattoo to be like the other Celeste that was the older one, but they called the older one Cece, but she called herself Cece when the older one was around, but then when she wasn't around, she called herself Celeste. Yeah, this is confusing, man.
Annoyed and told the artist that she lost out on the clientele he was going to bring her. She said that was fine. She just had a policy like his NDA that she likes to follow. He tried to tell the artist that Celeste already had tattoos and that she wouldn't worry about it because she is 19. And this is where it gets more worse. She told David, "Dude, I'm not gonna lie. She looks 13. I need the ID. I respect your NDA. Please respect my policy." He just said, okay, pulled Celeste to the side and told her he was going to call another artist later and that he was going to stream. She should go to the room. She can come out when he is done. He came back to her, apologized, and gave her a side hug. BTW, I was getting tattooed cherry blossoms on the inside of my wrist. It's posted to her Instagram with purple nails. And my friend didn't get anything that day, but he did get a Princess Mononoke tattoo. The last tattoo event David had in May last year, and this back and forth was happening. And when he left, I asked her if this was the first time she's tattooed him, and she said no, and that was her second time there because last party, this blank guy named Mark told her that Celeste was an MINER. She wasn't sure if that was true or not. If so, the tattoo artist wanted nothing to do with that stuff. And she didn't understand why the last party she came and that CC girl was getting called a different name. She couldn't remember what, but it wasn't Celeste. I tried reaching out to that artist on Instagram to see what happened after last party. I seen her where my friend got tattooed by her around May of 2024. It was before David. My house is not a home tour, but no reply. And I tried again recently, but noticed she hasn't posted since November of last year, which is scary. I believe the last time David contacted my friend was when he played a show in San Diego August 5th. Also, I'm hearing that the older Celeste is claiming she never knew or met Celeste, and that's a damn lie because this is Celeste in the back, and that's her looking annoyed and miserable as usual. When I spoke to her, she always seemed bothered when David's GF was around, and she wasn't getting his attention. IDK, it always seemed like a love triangle, so I thought. Also, I find it weird that there's no information on David's whereabouts now, and he blocked my friend out because he sent him a text and it was a green bubble. He does have family in Texas, and I know he's from New York City, so maybe he's hiding out there. Let's hope Celeste gets justice. The older Celeste needs to be questioned because it's crazy odd that she was seen wearing a DEAD girl's clothes. She always gave me bad vibes. Now remember, this is all alleged speculation and hearsay, and although none of this is confirmed to be true, and I'm taking all of this with a grain of salt as the person who wrote that could be lying. However, do you think that this post might be true?
Is it possible that the other Celeste could have done this? Is it possible that they could have been hanging out while he was on tour or something and the other Celeste could have taken her out? Possibly.
All right, guys, so we have
everybody double tap that screen. We only got 587 likes on this video. Double tap that screen. We only got $55 on this, man. Let's get 45 on the screen. Let's double tap that screen to get these likes up. If nothing, let's go.
New information in the David Celeste case out of California. According to a couple of sources who have spoken to people in the music scene who are directly associated with David, who have been around David and Celeste, they are saying that they did believe that David and Celeste were romantically involved. However, they did not know how old she actually was. They say that they were completely shocked when the news came out that Celeste would have been 13 to 14 years old when she was hanging around David at these events and at his place. They say that they thought that she was 19. They didn't question her age because of, quote, the places that she was seen at. And they also said that she presented herself as being very mature. Now, obviously, we do know that Celeste's Discord profile did say that she was over 18. We also do know that she was utilizing fake IDs, apparently. To me, this raises a few more questions. One, how do you look at her and think that this is a 19-year-old? Two, who was creating fake IDs for her? And three, why was no one questioning the fact that she was never able to hop on a plane with David and go to any of his shows? If the general consensus was that they were in a romantic relationship, as they are saying, why did nobody think that it was weird that she was only ever around David when he was in the state of California? Now, another video has surfaced online of Celeste at a family function. This video was posted to one of her family members' social media pages, and this is from June of 2024. This was a couple of months after she was last reported missing in April of 2024. This is it right here. This is also creating more questions, in my opinion, because if she wasn't seen by family since April of 2024, as it's been previously reported, how was she around family in June of 2024? What are you guys thinking about all of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you're following me for more updates and information on this case.
Didn't I tell y'all it was going to get even more creepy? You see her standing right there in June of 2024, but she was already missing in May of 2024. So you've never seen her since May, but then she pops back up in June with the family. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. What the hell is going on? There go mama right there. Her and her mom was together. What do we even think of this, gang? I don't know what to make of this. What the fuck, right? So she was around her family, bro. So that's even more weird. That makes me question even more. In the back of my mind. And here's the video right here. New video of Celeste in June of 2024. And there she goes right there. There goes Celeste allegedly at a family function in June of 2024. And there goes her family. Look, what the fuck is going on, y'all? Yeah, so allegedly they got a new video of Celeste, and it shows her right here at a family function. So it looks like she kept going back home. It does. So I'm not sure. Maybe she went running away and they just reported her missing, but she kept coming back, and this was just something she did. Because they said she was an habitual, I don't know, she ran away. Like she was a habitual runaway girl. She always ran away, allegedly. Always was running away and always was coming home. So maybe she was still coming home, and I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck to make of this case anymore. I don't know.
David's friends are speaking out, and now they're saying that they saw Celeste and David together all the time, that they were attached at the hip, and that they saw her at grown-ass parties. Yes, you heard it here. They're saying that they would see her out in the LA scene, the LA music party scene, kicking it, drinking colors, talking trash with the likes of other people that were of age. They all thought that she was at least 19 years old. There was a story, at least, of her being a student at USC. And they both, David and Celeste, were in on this whole con. This is from what we're understanding from friends. Friends thought that these two were attached at the hip and were indeed in a relationship together. But because she had fake IDs, she was able to get into these big, huge parties and these big, huge bars and nightclubs solely because of the fake IDs that she had with her. Now the question still remains: Did she fool David too? Did David not know that she was not of age or not? I'm telling you right now, he knew. He knew she was young. He knew that. But at the same time, anything's possible. What say you guys? Comment down below. Crazy the friends are still sitting there going, wow, we thought they were together. She's 14? What?
But to be honest, let's be completely honest. Everybody in this room, how old does Celeste look to y'all? Get everybody just type of age in the chat. Like, I'm talking about right now. If you were to, I mean, obviously RIP to her, but the last photo you've seen of her, how old does she look to you guys? I see 17, I see 14, I see 12, 13, I see 12, I see 17, I see 10, I see 14, 14, 16. Keep them coming, y'all. Keep them coming. I see 14, 14, 15, 15, 12, 15, 13, 14, 13, 15, 14, 13, 15, 12, 15, 16, 16, 14, 16, 15. Okay, so everyone would say in between 12 and 17. Looks like everyone has got like a 5-year grace period. Everyone's saying like around like 12, 13. I say 13 to 17. So we can all clearly see that we're not dealing with an adult here. I think everybody can clearly see. I think every man in this room would be like, bruh, that's a little, what are you doing? If I was to go to one of my homeboys' houses or parties or whatever, if I pulled up on one of my homeboys and like, oh, this is my girl Celeste right here, I would pull him aside and be like, bro, what the fuck is you, can I see her ID? Like, I need to see her ID. Why, bro? Because that girl looks like she's 14, bro. I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but I'm about to call the police. So you need to show me her ID. I'm being serious, bro. That girl looks young. I'm getting the fuck away from this shit, but I'm gonna call the police before I go. So what the fuck y'all got going on? You know what I'm saying? I definitely wouldn't look at that girl and be, oh, well, she definitely goes to USC. How about USC? She's like, she goes somewhere to start with some damn middle school out here. What the fuck is you talking about? USC. In the back of my mind. Allegedly. Let's continue, man. Let's continue.
Friends who partied with David in and around Los Angeles are now telling TMZ that they believed Celeste was his girlfriend. And they
already replayed that, my bad. I got a couple things twice on here.
Y'all, David deleted all of his songs off of SoundCloud.
You can still look him up on there, but when you go to click on his profile or any song, it will not load. The profile will not load. As somebody who has been a die-hard SoundCloud girly since like 2016, anyone who knows if you want to find unreleased songs from an artist or, you know, old songs from when they first started out, whatever it is, SoundCloud is normally the place you're going to find that unreleased music, the rare music from most artists. Something about him taking down all his music on SoundCloud is really rubbing me the wrong way. And those of you who have been on SoundCloud long enough know exactly why I think this is weird. It's very clear at this point this man was in a relationship with the underage girl Celeste. Obviously, we don't know for sure if he killed her, but I think at this point we all know he played a part in it, and this is just even more evidence that he is trying his best to cover up his tracks.
Yeah, he definitely is trying to cover up these tracks, but these tracks are getting uncovered really fast. Really fast.
We need to talk about pedophiles. Like, we really need to talk about pedophiles.
PDFs. Let's talk about PDFs.
You might not know this, but most of the people that we consider pedophiles are
PDFs.
technically not clinical pedophiles.
PDFs.
They actually fall under the term ephebophilia, meaning they have attraction to late-age minors. And you might be asking why that distinction is relevant at all. It doesn't absolve them of any guilt, but it tells us something important about these kind of people. It's not like these old dudes are battling some condition they were born with, this impulse that they can't control. They were actually conditioned into liking young women, and sometimes men. And what does that tell you about our society? Like genuinely, what does that tell you? If you don't know, I'll tell you. You know I'm gonna say the word. We're living in a capitalist society. It always starts there. And every single one of our societal institutions have been saturated with capitalism, with its residues. The economy needs culture. Why does it need culture? It needs justification for its existence. So those empower and code values into our society and thus into our culture that help to sustain the system.
Salute Demetrius Chapman for the $5. Smash them likes, y'all.
That's what's going on. For you to be someone who endorses and supports capitalism, you have to be someone who likes to play the game and wants to win its prizes. Capitalism wants to breed people who want to control, who want to dominate, who want to elevate, and have other people subject to their power as well. It's only those kind of people who will thrive in a system like this one. And so all of our social institutions reflect this value, this desire to control, to conquer, including, surprise, surprise, sex. I find the pornographic material that people consume to be almost reflective of the inner ills of our society. Every single kink that becomes popular has something to do with power and control and domination. And almost always we see age play as a part of this mechanism. Why are our societal conceptions of sex so saturated with age, with being young, with control, with dominance? Probably because our society celebrates those ideals. And pedophilia is the most potent form of this dynamic. These are almost always people who want to make someone entirely and totally devoted to them. They want total autonomy and control over someone else. They want control of their actions, of their minds. And the perfect way to have that, the perfect way to do that, is to get someone when their mind is still susceptible to massive destructive change. This is why pedophilia is so rampant in our culture, because our culture values domination and destruction of those who we deem as inferior. These are the values that a capitalist system craves. Widespread pedophilia is not normal, it's not biological, it's the perverted cultural offspring of the capitalist machine. That's literally all it is. We are creating evil people right now, and I'm so scared for our young girls. It's just only getting worse with the internet.
Yeah, but it's getting worse and worse. And this generation is consumed on a lot of power and dominance, I would say. The people want to be in control.
Effectively, what do you expect this particular data in this Tesla might tell us about who was on the outside of the car, getting into the driver's seat, driving it to the abandoned location, and maybe opening that trunk and closing it for the last time? What will we know about that?
Well, it's all going to depend on if Sentry mode was turned on. Because if Sentry mode was actually activated on the vehicle, then it's doing a lot of recording of video footage from its 8 external cameras. And so if that was the case, then you'd actually have clips of the people opening the door.
Salute to 704 Chino for the $5. I appreciate you, gang.
A clip of someone opening the trunk, and that could possibly be recovered by the police. Now, if Sentry mode's not turned on, then it's not going to be doing any of those recordings. And what you'll get is recordings when the vehicle's in motion versus when it's stationary.
Do you think there'll be data that's retrievable about where it drove from before it ended up in its final resting spot in the abandoned street side prior to being towed? And will it register when that trunk closed for the last time?
Yes, it should. It's all a matter of whether or not that data is still on the car or if it's on the Tesla servers. As long as the memory stick that records all the videos hasn't been removed from the vehicle, because that is the only thing that...
Salute Christy Reed for the $20. I appreciate you. Salute. We $15 away from a honey bun. Let's go.
That a individual that owns the vehicle can actually do to wipe data effectively and quickly is to pull the memory stick. And if you do that, that's where all the video recordings are stored for the Sentry mode.
Is there a delete file? It's like, you know, if I can delete something off my computer, the police can still find it. Is it the same with the Tesla?
It all depends because of the type of memory that it's using. It's like a really fancy thumb drive, basically. And so if they get that drive out of the car rather quickly, then yes, there's a very good likelihood they can recover those deleted videos. But if they were deleted and then a lot of other videos were created after the fact, then they might not be able to recover them, such as the car sat for, say, 8 days, and the Sentry mode kept activating after they deleted all the video footages, then there is a less likelihood that they'll actually be able to retrieve the video of the body being placed in the vehicle.
And I think you already mentioned that we will know when the trunk was last opened and closed, correct?
Yes, the vehicle does keep track of that, but it's a matter of whether or not the police are going to be able to get that information.
Meaning, will Tesla play ball, or will they have to subpoena Tesla?
Exactly. So the information is on the vehicle, but it's really hard to get off the vehicle. And on a 2023 Model Y, it's near impossible for anyone but Tesla to actually get that data off of the vehicle due to the encryption.
So Tesla is going to have to play ball in this case. So they're going to need Tesla to kind of get in their archives to go get this footage.
Have some new information coming out about Celeste Hernandez and David. Now, some of David's friends are coming out and saying that Celeste was David's girlfriend. According to TMZ, David's friends say that they thought that Celeste was his girlfriend, and they were shocked to find out that she was only 14 years old. Friends who partied and knew David were under the impression that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was his girlfriend, and they were shocked to figure out when the news came out that Celeste was only 14 years old. Some of these
Salute QTNSN, I appreciate you. Salute.
friends of David's are one who party in LA and are in the music scene, and they tell TMZ that they saw David and Celeste at parties and hangouts, and it appeared to them that they were a couple. David's friends also told TMZ that they were under the impression that Celeste was a student at USC, and a friend believed Celeste was around 19 years old and presented herself as much older. You also have to remember that TMZ talked to law enforcement sources that did tell them that Celeste fake IDs, which allowed her to pass herself off as an adult. And David's friends that are now talking to TMZ say one of the reasons that they thought she was over 18 is because she would hang out at these places that had age restrictions. David's friends are also saying that they are shocked to know that there is a connection between David and Celeste's death. We know this is something that has not been absolutely proven by law enforcement because they aren't speaking, but maybe the fact that she was found in his Tesla trunk. His friend said that he has a gentle demeanor. He's super shy, soft-spoken, and gentle. But either way, this is big news to know that David's friends are now coming out and they are speaking and they are confirming that Celeste had a relationship with David. Timing of this
Salute Chocolate Queen for the $10.
is very important. This is a critical piece of information that law enforcement will follow up on if they haven't talked to these friends already. And it's crazy. Now we are actually hearing from David's friends because also yesterday, a neighbor that lived close to David came out and told news sources that he saw Celeste and David together a lot and that he thought that Celeste lived with David, and he also claimed that he thought that they were a young couple. And you paired that with all the pictures, the videos, the statements from her mother claiming that she had a boyfriend named David, and also her brother coming out and saying that Celeste last left with the singer David. It is not looking good for him. This is one way that I believe the cops will be trying to lay down this timeline. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
I don't know, man. I still just have way too many questions about all this shit. How is all this evidence out and he's still free?
Hi.
There's no way you could say he just didn't do it. There's no way. He's involved in some way.
Hi, it's Pincus. I wanted to clear up some rumors in regards to Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the 14-year-old girl found in the singer David's Tesla. And I'm just going to jump right into it. This article was reported by News Nation. Internet sleuths were mistaken in thinking that Miss Celeste or Celeste Rivas Hernandez was in attendance at the David concert late last month. Viral video showed a woman who looked like Hernandez in the crowd just weeks before her decomposed body was found in the trunk of a car owned by the singer. The video was filmed August 23rd or August 24th, took place in Maryland, and shows David paying attention to a specific female in the audience. Charles from TMZ did make a statement. There's a woman in the balcony who he actually acknowledged looks up at her. He stated this on Banfield. Quotations, she certainly could have been Celeste. It looked like it, and a lot of people immediately latched onto this. We have been told by a source who is connected to the case that that is not Celeste or Celeste. So I wanted to clarify the timeline for you because Los Angeles Times has released a little bit more information as to how many times she went missing. Celeste grew up in Lake Elsinore, about 76 miles from Hollywood, where the Tesla was parked before it was towed. She was in the 7th grade, and her family reported her missing at least 3 times in 2024. And that is according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. The teen was reported missing on Valentine's Day 2024 when she was 13. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department confirmed Celeste or Celeste was reported missing last year but did not provide any additional information about the case and referred all questions to the LAPD. It's unclear how many times the teen was reported missing or how many times she was returned to her family by authorities. That's all I have for you today. I haven't seen any recent updates just yet. Police have not released any more information currently as of right now, this very moment. We do all have to be patient, which me personally, I am fine with. So as soon as I see something, I will say something. But I just wanted to clear up these things for you, just in case anybody's mind was wondering. Rest in peace to Celeste or Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Thank you so much for the support. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will keep you guys posted.
Man. So, I don't know, man. I'm still confused on how did David's friends and everybody around the situation seem to just all really think that this was a 19-year-old girl? Like, there's no way I'm looking at that girl and thinking she's not a child.
Authorities have several leads after raiding David's house in Celeste Rivas' investigation. Thank the Lord.
New details are coming into our newsroom about the missing girl found dead in singer David's Tesla. We now know police have searched a home in the Hollywood Hills where David had been living.
Eyewitness News reporter Monica Dan that joins us live from Hollywood with the very latest. Monica.
Colleen Phillip, good morning. Take a look here behind me. This home is where David was living, although he does not own the home. LAPD investigators served a search warrant here last night, collecting evidence. Right now, however, this is only being called a death investigation and not a homicide, and we're told that is because the LA County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to determine how exactly this teen girl died.
Now let us briefly recap the things we already know. The car was never reported stolen. It was reported abandoned by somebody. We don't know who that somebody is. So that's a key part in this, is that everybody thought that David had reported his Tesla stolen. That never happened. It never took place. Another key development was that Celeste and David knew each other in some capacity.
Oh no, wait.
The mom knew about David, the brother knew about David, so the family knew that Celeste was seeing this older man. That's a huge part of this. Another huge part of this is that Celeste's friends have come forward and said that they had contact with her up until August. So that's also a key point in this. Originally, everybody thought that David couldn't be involved because it was during the week that the body was found. We now know that the body was severely decomposed and they only really found her torso and her head, and it took over a week for them to identify her body. I'm sorry. That is like extremely hard news every single time. I even have to say that loud because it's like we're all listening. We also know that David had put out a song, or it was unreleased. I'm pretty sure it was an unreleased song that was called Celeste. Big news. We also know that there was a 23-year-old that he is, I believe, currently seeing that's also named Celeste. But if you ask me, that's just to throw like everybody off the trail. Now the new news comes after the raid, which they say now that they have collected more evidence and that the investigation has new leads after raiding David's house, but he still hasn't been named a suspect, which is really confusing to me. Now that contradicts what TMZ has reported, which is that he has been investigated by the LAPD police department. So I'll include that information.
It says David initially decided to continue his world tour while cooperating with the investigation, but he eventually canceled the remainder of his tour. An unreleased love song written by David references someone by the name Celeste. Police raided a home in connection to David. As they continue the investigation, David has not been arrested or named a suspect in the case. Authorities have also not officially declared the death of the unaliving because they have not determined the cause of death, though TMZ reported numerous times that her death is being investigated as a homicide. How is TMZ leading the way on this? I'm just what the fuck is TMZ is acting like they the police in this case? Nobody else find that weird?
Now, in a previous video, I also spoke about the Hello Kitty shoes that she was seen wearing at a concert with David, which is like huge to me. And also about the pair of shoes that he was supposedly like cleaning and selling that also seemed to match a pair of shoes that Celeste owned. And of course, multiple people own the same pairs of shoes, but in this case, when there's an unaliving investigation, it's a little freaking sketchy. You guys go off down below. Let me know how you guys feel about this information. This story, I'm telling you, is haunting me so happy. I feel like everything just happened right in front of our faces and nobody knew that this was unfolding. All right, I love you all so much. Make sure you give me a follow. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Strange. This got to be the strangest case ever. Strangest case I ever covered. I promise you.
How can TMZ deny that is Celeste? That is not no damn Summer Walker. Y'all can keep y'all false fucking information. At this point, they're trying to gaslight us. Because that hair, shoulder length, how she has the part of hair over here that goes up like by her eye, and then her eyes itself speaks Celeste. Like, what the fuck? And mind you, this was not too long ago. So it's giving that David was trying to give her a message like, oh, if I can't have you, nobody can. And during his concert, this specific one, he constantly was looking up at her. He was like pointing at her while he was singing. And I mean, obviously at that time, nobody knew that he was even dating Celeste. Nobody even knew that that was Celeste, that she was a missing girl. And you can't tell from that video because it's like kind of blurred. But the fact that the internet, TMZ, is trying to make it seem like, oh, this is not Celeste. Like, are they trying to cover this shit up? I don't understand, but y'all cannot convince me that that is not the same fucking girl. Like, her features, especially her eyes and her hair, I've never seen a blurred picture be so fucking visible in my life. Like, it was a lot of different angles that this video was taken from by other people as well. Because at first, everybody genuinely thought that this was Summer Walker, but it was not. It was not. She literally could have been saved. And I really don't know what was going through her mind during this time of the concert. I wish that, she reached out to somebody. She could have saved her fucking life. And a lot of people are saying, oh, this is the other Celeste. No, it is not. The other Celeste is a little bit old. And no, like, they're trying to gaslight us, and we're not falling for that shit. That is literally Celeste. That's fucking Celeste. I don't care what anybody says.
What do y'all think? Do y'all believe that that is Celeste? Drop the gems in the chat if you believe that is Celeste. Drop the caps if you think that is not Celeste. Let me know in the chat. Drop the gems if you believe it's Celeste. Drop the caps if you think that is not Celeste. To me, it seems to be Celeste. I ain't gonna lie. If it ain't Celeste, she look an awful lot like her. I don't know. I don't know if it's her. I'm just gonna say she looked like her. But so does a lot of people in his life. A lot of people look just like her, and that's the weird part about it. A lot of people look just like that little girl.
If I had any insider information that could lead to news articles and news articles covering more police information. Apparently I was on the run by the FBI and they wanted to confirm that. And I just told them straight up, I said, look, I'm not interested in doing an article. I'm not interested. I'm not gonna lie, I damn near told him, you know what, I worked security for him. Tell the LAPD to investigate Nerman Desaravarovich. I think he lives in Atlanta right now. I was gonna do that shit. But I was like, you know what, bro, this is a serious situation. We don't troll. I was dead ass finna tell them Cheezer did it, bro. And I was gonna have, I was finna have Cheezer. I'm not even kidding, bro. I was gonna tell them Cheezer did that shit. So I was like, you know what, bro? I just told him, look, I'm done with the whole situation.
What the fuck? Why would you troll when there's a little girl who lost her life? Like, what are you trolling for? What's so funny? I don't see nothing funny.
So you mean to tell me that Nancy Grace is now covering the David case? You guys, I don't know who's gonna tell David, but they on his head. Because when Nancy Grace steps into a conversation, she comes harder than all the reporters, okay? If you haven't heard of her, look her up. You guys, there's been so many updates, but I told y'all I really didn't want to get up here and talk about certain things because what's important is he or is he not being brought into custody? But since I said that video, they are saying that David has broken his lease and left the home that he was staying in that was searched by the police. They are saying, people are alleging that Celeste was at his concert August 23rd before David went on his trip. But I don't really know if I believe that because what they were saying is that, you know, when they found the body, this condition that it was in, it had been decomposing for a while. Because they said it was so bad. Like, it was so bad. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if I believe that. What I do know, and what's been reported, is that she had a really bad home situation. Allegedly, that's what they're reporting. That she had a really bad home situation, and which caused her to, you know, run away from home, leave home a lot. I don't know what's going to transpire. They're really, really holding the details of this case close to heart. People are saying, I saw on TMZ, they had said it reminds them of the whole Brian Collier case when they weren't telling anybody too much of anything. And everybody was just trying to figure it out. And then they came back and got them, you know, how that case went. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But I hope within the next few days, they give us something like tangible to hold on to. So yeah, y'all, that was the update.
Yeah, I was thinking by Friday, if he wasn't arrested, he wouldn't be arrested. But some source hit me up today and told me, oh, he will be arrested.
You're getting new information now about the 15-year-old girl found dead in the trunk of the car of singer David. Detectives are intensifying their investigation into the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, while her family says they're making plans to honor her life. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher joining us now with the latest developments. Michelle?
Well, Mark, what we do know right now is that this family has Celeste's remains. They are one step closer now to laying her to rest as they grieve, but we still do not know how Celeste Rivas was killed, who did it, or why.
An investigation into the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas continues as the LA County Medical Examiner confirms her remains have now been released to her family for memorial services. That could indicate a cause of death has been determined, but that information hasn't been released. This more than 2 weeks after Rivas's dismembered and decomposing body was found at a tow yard inside a Tesla registered to singer David.
It's an ongoing investigation. We have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion.
LAPD Chief Jim McDonald speaking with Eyewitness News today about the relationship between 20-year-old David and Rivas, who just turned 15 earlier this month.
There are discussions that they might have had a relationship. Would you investigate that relationship as a possibility? Because it could be illegal to have a relationship with somebody that age.
Yeah, certainly. Whenever you investigate a homicide, the detectives look at all of the associated issues as well. In this case, that's something that they would be looking at.
Last week, investigators took a computer as they searched a Hollywood Hills home where David had recently stayed. The singer, who was on tour, has now canceled all of his shows, but has not commented on the investigation. As he remains silent, his fans are loud online, critiquing his lyrics and music videos that feature gory imagery and themes. One of his most popular songs, titled Romantic Homicide. And take a look at this video for One More Dance. What appears to be a blindfolded David in a bloodied shirt standing by as two people put a body into the trunk of a car. And this anime video for David's song Rehab depicting a girl's arm being cut off. And a verified GoFundMe for Rivas' funeral expenses has raised now $24,000. It says that services for the teenager are planned for next Saturday. That's October the 4th. Mark?
Michelle Fisher, thank you.
Man. $24,000 they've raised. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, raising in memory of her.
It's nothing to celebrate.
I just don't trust the family.
But it might go down as one of the craziest murder mysteries in the history of life that's caused the internet to literally flip upside down. His name is David Anthony Burke, born in 2005, 20 years old, born in Queens, New York, raised in Houston. He originally made Fortnite montage videos for background music. He created his own music. He created a song that blew up called Romantic Homicide, 2022. Then he landed a record deal with Interscope, international tours, all within a 1 to 2 year breakthrough. He currently was on tour and had to cancel it because of this murder mystery. What's going on? September 8th, 2025, human remains were discovered and found inside of the front trunk of a Tesla, impounded in Hollywood. The body was badly decomposed and dismembered, and it was wrapped up in plastic. They identified this body. Unfortunately, it was this girl who was 15. Her name is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She went missing in April 2024 in California. The car, the Tesla, is connected and registered to David. They have video of it now. It's online. You can see them searching through his house. They found a computer. They took things out of his house. David's team is saying that he's cooperating fully. As of right now, there's no charges. He has also been dropped by brands, Crocs, Hollister, artists like Kali Uchis who have worked with him have been deleting their music with him from social media. The amount of evidence that, in my opinion, this man needs to be in jail easily. First of all, his association with this girl named Celeste. There is videos of them on FaceTime together, taking photos together. He dated this girl Celeste. At some point, he would bring her on stream, and it gets crazier and crazier. There's videos going around of him being with her, but she's like hiding, like almost like he's covering up. She has like a hoodie on. Because technically, if he's 20 now, let's say he got with her around, even if he was a minor, it was 17. She was what, 12? That's crazy. There's a song that's leaked that's called Celeste. The song says, "Baby, I love you, and I want to make you feel suicidal." Photos of him having a tattoo that says "shh." They have matching tattoos. The parents also confirmed that she had a boyfriend named David. David uploaded the Romantic Homicide music video, uploaded it on her birthday.
There's allegedly a second Celeste that's around 23 years old that could be a cover-up.
Who is there to blame in this, right? Is this a problem with the parents at all? Are we not getting? Why haven't we seen an interview with the parents yet of Celeste? Aside from David, does she not have friends that were looking for her? This is one of the craziest psychopaths in the history of life. This man would bring out a casket during his concert shows, during his tour, and he would actually have fans write letters. Like, how much morbid can we get?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's some sinister shit. He is a psychopath. I agree with it. He's psycho.
We have been telling you about.
He is psycho. Hold on, I need to get to this video. That dude is a psychopath, man.
From the perspective of whoever was driving that vehicle and moving it around may have had an intent, but was my client the person that was moving it around, or does my client have an alibi for where they may have been each time that car was moving with that foul-smelling body in it? So just because it was moving does not put it with the person that I may be defending at the time.
Okay, that's a good point. I'm glad you told me that. Now I'm going to try to find a way to shoot down that theory. Guys, let's start at the beginning. We've gotten ahead of ourselves. Listen. He suddenly removed shots of him with bloody t-shirts. It looks like it's even in a car. Why? Why would he do that suddenly?
You know, Nancy, so many people, especially celebrities, are represented by, public relations representatives who will advise them to do certain things so that they can attack things before the damage happens. And, you know, this is somebody who was in the spotlight. He's already being attacked about his lyrics. He's already being painted as the person who is, likely responsible for this because he had a relationship with this person. And he is likely being told that he should take these images down. Although these images are a part of his overall brand, we're talking about creative expression. This person has a moody, gothic brand, but his lyrics are artistic expression. It's not necessarily a confession, and him taking it down is not necessary.
I can't wait. I can't wait for you to try that on the jury. This was his artistic expression. He continues touring for several weeks until the outcry online, it becomes too noisy to ignore. Now she's dead. It can only be topped by one thing. To Israel South Rodriguez joining us, U.S. Son, isn't it true that there are pregnancy allegations, Israel?
That's right, Nancy. There are rumors and unconfirmed reports online that claim Celeste was apparently pregnant at the time of her death. David wrote in the comment section of one of his Discord live streams, quote, "Me and @deleted user got a kid on the way." Again, these reports are unconfirmed by Los Angeles investigators who have kept the details of the case close to the chest.
Do you guys believe that she was pregnant? Chat, do you guys believe that Celeste Hernandez was pregnant? Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Investigative reporter. Isn't it true, Dave, that she was so decomposed, she had to be forensically identified? Isn't that true?
Absolutely correct, Nancy.
Okay, again, Joe Scott Morgan, I'm just a felony prosecutor. Could you explain what that means? I mean, I'm guessing that means that they didn't open the trunk and look at her and go, that's the little missing girl, Celeste. She had to be forensically identified.
Yeah, to kind of frame this out a little bit, Nancy, her Celeste measurements, her weight specifically in life, you ready for this, was 120 pounds. The remains that they have are somewhere in the neighborhood of 70. So no, they could not have been able to actually visualize her and say, yeah, this is Celeste. This is who we've been looking for. No, they're going to go at this. I do understand that she has specific tattoos, and they were able to use that. I can only assume her family's involved in this.
Put him up, please. Okay, specifically one tattoo, a tiny tattoo on the inside of her finger. It says, shh, shh, and you could only see it if that finger was held up. There it is. There's the shh. Now, I just saw another tattoo, and I'd like to see it again. That was the other tattoo on her finger. So mom and dad couldn't see her tattoos. David. Wow. David, the musician. And it's
Man. It's just too much evidence that says he did this shit. It's too much.
Y'all, so this is Lake Elsinore, and this is a screen recording of Google Earth right outside of Celeste's neighborhood. And tell me why there's a whole black Tesla caught on Google Images. Y'all, I'm not 100% saying, that this gotta be David's Tesla, but I do think just spiritually, synchronicity-wise, universally-wise, I think it's very, very odd that there's a whole black Tesla that's caught right on Google Images right outside her neighborhood. And to whoever mentioned something about her going to a liquor store or being seen at a liquor store last, this is the liquor store.
Wow. Let's look at that one more time, guys. Is this crazy? This is crazy. I don't believe in coincidences. Watch this again.
Y'all, so this is Lake Elsinore, and this is a screen recording of Google Earth right outside of Celeste's neighborhood. And tell me why there's a whole black Tesla caught on Google Images. Y'all, I'm not 100% saying, that this gotta be David's Tesla, but I do think just spiritually, synchronicity-wise, universally-wise, I think it's very, very odd that there's a whole black Tesla that's caught right on Google Images right outside her neighborhood. And to whoever mentioned something about her going to a liquor store or being seen at a liquor store last, this is the liquor store.
So David was going to pick her up and got caught on Google Images, allegedly. Allegedly, David was going to pick this little girl up and got caught on Google Images the day of, which she went missing, allegedly. And they caught it on camera, too, that she was getting into a black car that seemed like it was a Tesla. They just couldn't prove it was. But there was, at the end of her, on that runaway footage, they did see her getting into it's always that black Tesla around this little girl.
Oh, the David case continues to get more confusing and weird. So if you haven't been paying attention, police reportedly suspect Celeste may have been unalived inside the home where David was staying. David recently moved out of his house where the police raided it a few days before. And during that raid, they collected computers and a bunch of evidence. A lot of People have been asking why he hasn't been arrested yet, and it's due to the fact that this case, even though it's being treated like a murder case, is not yet a murder case. The reason for that is because they have not determined the cause of death yet. And the reason why it's been difficult is due to the decomposition of the body, bro. Her body was recently returned to her family so that they can have a funeral, and normally when they do that, it's because they don't need it anymore. They've already done their tests. TMZ came out and said that the LA Police Department and a medical examiner are being unusually quiet about this case, saying that this whole case is odd. They're surprised LAPD has not publicly named or maybe not even know of a suspect. People speculated that they saw Celeste in August at a David concert in Silver Spring, Maryland, but TMZ came out and said that that wasn't her. A lot of people have been calling out Celeste's family, questioning how long they've been knowing about this situation, because she was reported missing in like 2024, but David had been knowing her for multiple years. Her parents are pretty much quiet about this entire situation. Some people are mad at Celeste's aunt for clout chasing off the situation. People who were her classmates were getting paid off by David and knew about this situation for the longest time, but her family didn't. There's even rumors that David was paying her parents off $10,000 a week to let the relationship continue. There's posts of her cousin begging her to come back home. They actually knew about this for years and chose to speak up now. That is crazy. Other than that, though, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious.
Man, this is just sad and unfortunate, man. This is a sad and unfortunate case, man.
So it's been looking like David is trying to get rid of so much evidence, making himself look so guilty. And we now have photographic evidence of what people think is the last time Celeste was seen alive. Plus, why David still, at this point, is not considered a suspect. Let's get into all of it. Internet sleuths have just put together that they think the last place Celeste was ever seen is David's house in the Hollywood Hills, and there's good reason for them to think that. So as we know, law enforcement got a warrant to search through his house and take anything they want. They took his laptop to look for evidence, and they took 2 bags full of evidence, checking for evidence of foul play. They checked for blood, and they even checked his drains. This home was being leased by not just David, but also his manager. And in a very suspicious move, just days after they conducted that search, David suddenly broke the $20,000 lease on this house. What's the rush to leave? If nothing bad happened there, why are you fleeing? And that really made people look into the history of how long he's lived there. And they found out that David initially signed that lease in January 2024, and Celeste ran away in February 2024 and was found just a month later at David's Hollywood Hills home. But the final time she ran away and was never found again was May 2024. So where else would we think she went besides that Hollywood Hills home? And what I think would be the smoking gun is that this house was equipped with security cameras everywhere, but the leasing manager said that only the resident can hand that over to police. So we're hoping David can hand that over the easy way, and we can see the last time that Tesla was leaving this house and then parked 4 blocks away with a dead body. Now, as ABC News reported, the body was found in that Tesla wearing a black tube top and a chunky yellow bracelet. And now fans have found what they think is the last time Celeste was seen alive at one of David's concerts scheduled on August 23rd, 2025. Now, as this video shows, Celeste was often seen sneaking around at David's shows with her hood up, trying to be discreet because she's underage, and the man she's with is David's brother for them to go watch the show somewhere. Now, in this video from this August 23rd concert, it looks like that's Celeste up there standing next to David's brother in the rafters like they normally would. And fans just think this looks a lot like Celeste's very identifiable face. And the saddest part, she's wearing a black tube top and a chunky yellow bracelet on the arm. You can see there's something chunky on her arm. And it's crazy because if that was on August 23rd, David had a 3-day break after that until his next show on August 26th, where he could do whatever he wanted. On his quest to delete more evidence, fans have noticed all of his minions, his chat moderators, are deleting any incriminating message on his Discord. Fans are convinced that this is photographic evidence of David paying people off to not reveal Celeste's age if they ever found out. And fans are now thinking that David would even pay off certain extended family members of Celeste who knew what he was doing. Like this suspicious text where Celeste posted on the Discord, my family's annoying me, and David said, don't worry, I'll handle it. Along with other Reddit users posting anecdotes that they knew he would pay off certain family members of hers. I can't verify those though. People think David still isn't a suspect because he's considered a flight risk. One, they think he's selling the house because he wants to flee and get all his finances in order before he does that, and if he was a suspect, he would do it a lot faster. So they're trying to pacify him while they build a massive case against him, so when they finally lay the charges on him, it's a done deal.
That's facts. And you fans out there trying to pacify this little boy, he's going down for this. He is going down whether you like it or love it.
A lot of y'all do not understand the criminal justice system, and that's why you cannot comprehend how David is still out. For one, this is not TV. This is not reality TV. This is not a fucking movie. This is real ass life. And sorry to break it to y'all, this was not the first murder case that the LAPD has to fucking focus on.
This is also not a case that's going to be going to trial anytime soon. I say this for a plethora amount of reasons. For one, the amount of minors involved in this case, it's going to take time to figure them all out. Two, you must have evidence. Point, period, blank. Everything that has been come out and has been shown to us, yeah, we can be like, oh my God, he's guilty, this, that, everything, the third. But to be able to take that shit to court and legally find him guilty is a lot different than just he's guilty. He has to be found guilty under a reasonable doubt. Like, there cannot be one singular person on that jury that is like, maybe he didn't do it. Because if there is, then he's walking the fuck away. Too many of y'all think that this needs to be so quick and this and that, everything the third. No, that's sloppy ass fucking work. If he would be arrested now, I would genuinely think they didn't have all the evidence that they needed. They don't have everything that they should have to take this shit to trial. There are subpoenas that have to be sent out. There is evidence that has to go straight to the prosecutor. The prosecutor feels like they don't have a strong enough case. That motherfucker will send it right back to the investigators and be like, bring me more. And until then, I'm not charging this shit. I'm not bringing this shit to court. For the fact of the matter that his defense attorneys are working just as fucking hard as the prosecutors are. Just as hard as the investigators are. And one fuck up, one slip up, one anything, and he's walking fucking free. If he did do this shit, he's walking fucking free. Y'all heard of double jeopardy? Can't charge this nigga for the same exact fucking shit again. They gotta get it right. He's going to be out, walking free on fucking Fortnite, on Instagram. He is going to be doing all the fucking shit that everybody else is fucking doing. Yes, until they even bring him in for fucking questioning. And even then, y'all, they probably still won't let his ass go. And they're most definitely going to build more evidence off of that conversation alone. Do y'all really listen when you watch crime docs? Like, I'm genuinely asking for the fact of the matter. Like, in crime documentaries, they'll tell you this motherfucker got arrested at this point in time, and the crime happened like a year and a half ago. The crime happened 3 years ago. Like, it takes some fucking time for a bitch to be brought to court. Y'all know that motherfucking, the unknown stalker, and it was old girl's mom? It took them 2 years to figure that shit out. And it wasn't even a murder case. Yeah, y'all need to start acting like this is real life. Because that's what the fuck this is. This is no TV. This is no motherfucking movie. And if y'all really want justice for Celeste, y'all need to understand it's going to take time to get that shit. No matter how we feel, the prosecutor, the judge, all of them, they cannot go in that bitch trying to be fucking biased. Trying to nail him into the coffin without having all of the evidence. Because that could come back on their ass. I hope this helps, okay? Love y'all. Bye.
Exactly. So this case is still being built. I mean, I know a lot of y'all don't like it, but the case is still being built as we speak. And I still think there's just a lot of layers to it.
So y'all telling me that his friends thought she was his girlfriend? This right here is despicable. Despicable to me. How y'all couldn't tell that she was 14 years old. Y'all couldn't tell that this was a 14-year-old girl? Look at her. Hold on. Look at her. She look 19 to you? She look 19. Okay. As it states right here, it says friends who partied with and knew the singer D4vd, better known as David, were under the impression Celeste Rivas was his girlfriend and was shocked when the news came out that she was only 14 years old. How couldn't y'all tell that she was a 14-year-old kid? I get it, they do have some girls that look a little older than they should, but you can tell by a person's demeanor, kind of their age and, you know, their countenance by how they move, you know. You should be able to tell the age of a person just based off of looking at them and how they move around. And they also said they saw David and Celeste together all the time at parties, at wherever, you know, wherever he would go, she would go, basically. They was together all the time. So there is no way people can be like, oh, she wasn't there and he got this look-alike clone, whatever, you know, of Celeste, and that she wasn't there. Even his friends said she was there. So we know that she was with him all the time. Not just that they was together, they appeared to be a couple. He had to know at some point that even if she lied to him, he had to know at some point that she was 14 years old. But he knew that even before this, because they got videos of him on live, people posting in the chat way before this shit even happened that she was underage or she was 13. Way before this even happened. So how there is no way that he cannot know. My thing is, how is this guy not a suspect? I'll wait. How is this guy not a person of interest? I'll wait. How could this 12 to 14-year-old girl, possibly 10, 11, be in his presence, talking to him on social media for years on end? He got a song about her, and he not be a person of interest. I've never heard of this. This is the clearest evidence ever. And that's just the last part. But the real part, she was found in his car. Come on now. Justice for Celeste. Like I said before, and to reiterate, his friends thought that she was his girlfriend. His friends thought. I'm mind boggled by this entire case, y'all. Like, for real. This is crazy to me. It's crazy. TMZ got all the tea. And I ain't talking about my mantra right here. They got all the tea. But we're gonna keep on going with this. We gotta figure this shit out for real. Celeste, we're gonna find out what happened to you, baby girl.
Yeah, we will figure it out. I don't know how soon it'll be. I don't think it'll be anytime soon that we do figure out the facts of the Celeste Hernandez case. David will still be walking free. Some of y'all might not like that. Some of y'all might. A lot of y'all probably don't like the fact that David's going to remain free and he will not face any charges no time soon. Maybe next week he might get hit with something possibly. I thought it would be Friday, but the more I found out about this case, the more I started to uncover, I started to realize there's more than one layer to this case. This is going to be a complicated case. First of all, you're dealing with a minor. Second of all, you're dealing with a timeline of when she was missing, when she was last seen. She kind of was off the grid a little bit. So it's kind of putting together evidence, video footage, Tesla footage, subpoenaing phone records, subpoenaing Tesla, sending a subpoena out to everybody, getting his phone records, her phone records, Instagram, Facebook, whatever else they were, you know what I'm saying, whatever social media she had, because it seemed like she was very busy on social media being so young. It seemed like she was an out of control teenager who just seemed to just come and go freely. But it also seems like her family was being paid off by David. It seems like these people were taking a payday to, like that tattoo said. So I'm seeing a pattern that y'all are saying now, oh, we want justice, but you motherfuckers wasn't asking for justice when she went off to the movies with a grown man. He picked her up in that same Tesla, and you motherfuckers was okay with it. So, and then her getting in Discord like, oh, my family's on my nerves right now. You're like, don't worry, I'll fix it. So you knew their family. And how can you fix something unless you're actively in the family's life? So when you say, oh, don't worry about it, I'll fix it, it lets me know that the family and you were in close contact. Y'all all was aware of this situation. And this was a business deal, if you will. I feel like in return for you paying our bills, paying our rent, taking care of our financial needs, maybe buying us a new car, keeping food in the refrigerator, PlayStation 5, you know, we're willing to turn a blind eye to this. You know what I'm saying? As long as we don't have to, you know what I'm saying, slave at work and all of our bills are paid and you sending us about $5,000 a month or so like that, $2,000 a month, whatever the agreement, I don't know, I'm just guessing. Send us $5,000 a month, $2,000 a month, she's free to, hey, y'all have fun. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't saying nothing. I don't feel like they ever contacted the police about this because I feel like y'all were okay with it. I feel like this was a business transaction. This was a business deal between David and Celeste Hernandez's family. So Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family. I feel like that this was well known by everybody. I think that his friends knew but didn't know. I feel like they questioned it, but didn't. You know, they don't want to be the one to say, "Oh, I felt it." Because if you did, they're gonna say, "Why you didn't call the police?" So it's easier to just say, "Oh, I thought she was 19." I think that a couple of people in his circle kind of knew what was going on, but they didn't know. I think a few people questioned it but didn't say nothing. So pay attention to your kids. Pay attention to what they got going on, man. Social media is the devil. Pay close attention to who they are watching and following on social media. I always tell y'all, be careful what you're intaking on these apps, because some of y'all are, you know, tuned into some demonic ass people in real time, and that energy rubs off. She was entertaining a demon, and look at the ultimate result of entertaining demons, not blaming the child because she has no knowledge of it. You know, she was just a kid, you know, a rebellious kid. We've all been there. I was a rebellious kid. I think everybody in this room rebelled against their parents. They told us, that ain't your friend. Stop hanging around this person. Stop doing that. Stop dressing like that. Stop wearing your clothes like that. Stop, you know what I'm saying? Have some respect. Say yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We didn't listen to none of this shit. Now we find ourselves teaching our kids the same thing. I had to tell my son that he can, you know, he's sagging his pants and shit. Pick your fucking pants up. I used to be one doing this shit, but I'm grown now and I know better. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta each one teach one. I don't give a fuck what I did. You do better than me. Pick your fucking pants up. What is you doing, fam? I'm not raising a hoodlum. I'm not raising a thug. Pick your fucking pants up. Wear some clothes that fit you. Comb your fucking hair. You know what I'm saying? You want to grow your hair out. You don't want to comb. And I'm like, bro, but I'm the bad guy. I know, but I'm not here to be your friend. I don't, you know, I'm just to the point. I don't give a fuck about pleasing anybody, especially a kid. I don't have to please you. I'm here to raise you and to be I'm trying to teach you to be a man. I ain't got no time to be sensitive and do that's just me as a dad, especially as of a boy. Man, you got to be a man. It's tough out here. You know what I'm saying? People looking at you a certain way. You're being judged. Pick your pants up. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I'm a bad guy when I say that. You know, I cut all the fun out of everything. But I ain't here to be your fucking friend. I'm here to teach you some shit. So either you're gonna listen, or you're going to rebel against me and do whatever the fuck you want to do. And hopefully you don't land yourself in one of these fucked up situations. And hopefully I never have to look back like, damn, I tried. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to try to get it together as parents, man. He knew she was deceased. I feel like him and the buddy calling the manager and asking, was it cool to get the private jet on live, was a fake play. This dude brought a casket to the next concert after hearing she was found. Exactly. And he cried when he did that song. He's like, I love you in the afterlife. He was saying, I love you in the afterlife. He started crying and everybody's like, damn, David was so emotional at this concert. What was going on with David? David was trying to repent for his damn sins. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. But yeah, he definitely was crying at the damn show. I don't know, man. Thank you, Reggie, for speaking to your son when you tell your son, yeah, I got to, man. I got to tell him, man, you got to pick your pants up, bro. You got to do this. You got to carry yourself. I know you're not listening to him. He's going in one ear, one out, and out the other. It's going right in here and going, because I was the same way. And as a parent, you start to see similarities from when you were younger. And of course, your kids are going to be 10 times worse on you. So all the shit you did in your past kind of comes back to you on your kids. So it's just kind of, you got to stay on them as a parent, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to monitor what your kids are watching. I don't give a fuck if your son or daughter is 16 or 15. They're not 18. Teach them how to be a fucking adult. Because if something were to happen to you and that kid turned 18, how lost would your kid be? Let's be honest. Have the serious conversation in your own head. You ain't got to really tell us, but asking a serious question for anyone who has kids that ain't 18. If something were to happen to you, how straight would your kid be going off on their own? Or how good would they be with what's left behind? Would your kid be perfectly fine without you? I doubt very seriously a lot of our kids would be in a great position. So God forbid, knock on wood, you know what I'm saying, something happens to anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you got to prepare yourself, because we don't know what happens in life. So you got to kind of prepare yourself for, okay, if something happens to me, how well off is my kid? Some of you got to be like, my kid's going to be fucked up out here. Just be real. You know, some of your kids are fuck ups. So there's nothing wrong. We got to, You know what I'm saying? I was a fuck up. So we kind of got to grow into life. You know what I'm saying? But how good would your kid be if you was to leave the situation? Dude, some of your kids are going to be fucked up out here. So you got to get on those kids before they turn 18 and before they can be, you know what I'm saying, out there doing some adult shit, getting themselves in some trouble, and you get that phone call. Hopefully, knock on wood, you don't get that phone call, but you get that phone call, your kid's in jail, or something bad happened, or your kid did something stupid, something dumb happened, and you got to get up out your bed and go take care of some other shit. But I mean, as parents, it's just what we got to deal with anyway. But there are ways. Basically, what I'm saying is Celeste could have been saved. There were ways to prevent this. She was running away. Call the police. Lock her ass up for a day. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Scare her fucking straight. You think shit is sweet? Let me send you to boot camp. Go to boot. You don't want to listen? You want to run away? Go to boot camp. I can't do it no more. I'm saving your life right now. You want to continue to run away and not listen to me, and you going out there doing grown shit? You know what? Let me put you in a fucked up environment, then let me show you something. Go to boot camp. Goodbye. Call the people on there. They could on him or her. Somebody can do something somewhere. Your kid can be saved. It's up to you to save them. You got to go hard for your kids like you go hard for your favorite rapper. You got to go hard for your kids like you go hard for your favorite baddie. You got to go hard for your kids like you go hard for yourself. You got to go hard for your kids 10 times more than you go for yourself. So Celeste Rivas could still be here if her parents would have went 10 times harder for that girl than they did for themselves. And David should have been in jail a long time ago. That's my analysis of this situation. We're going to get deeper into it as it goes along. Me personally, I might go off and cover something else here for now. I still have a Charlie Kirk video that I'm gonna do on my Kick, and I trust me, when I drop this video, it's gonna be jaw dropping. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow or the next day. I don't know, but I'm holding off on it because of a lot of this background shit that's going on with that. So, and I'm trying to stay alive. So, we'll get to it though. As far as this video, thanks for everybody pulling up, popping out, showing out. I appreciate all y'all. More than y'all will ever know. I'm going to get the hell up off here, man. Good night to everybody. Salute, man. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'm about to go eat and watch some college football. I think the Houston game on. I'm going to go. I got a parlay that I'm trying to cook right now, man. And Houston losing right now, so they ain't finna fuck up my parlay. Salute to the gang, man. I love each and every one of y'all more than y'all will ever know, man. This your boy Big Ratchet. That's Ratchet Gang. And this is Ratchet TV. And until the next episode, probably be tomorrow, probably be the next day. I don't know, man. We'll be back live, man. I love y'all more than y'all will ever know. This your boy Big Ratchet. I'm signing off, man. Get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about the video. Double tap that screen. We hit 195,000 subscribers. Get in the comment section. Say congratulations to something. Get in the comment section. I love y'all, man. I'm gone. I love y'all. I'm gone.